Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to day number 3. The championship finals coming up in just a few minutes' time here at the 2019 Canadian Swimming Trials. My name is Heinmarch Watson, and with me once again tonight is Canadian Olympian Brittany McLean. Britt, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I can't wait to get started for night 3.
Should be a great racing night tonight. We had another world record out of the Paris swimming events in this morning's time trial. Shelby Newkirk of the Saskatoon Lasers broke another world record, this time in the 200 backstroke, breaking a mark that had stood since 2011. So some fantastic swimming throughout not just our finals, but also in the heat sessions as well.
Yeah, I think one of the true testaments of a successful swimmer is to be able to get up in the morning and do a time standard that's competitive against the rest of the world, and that's how we're going to have to prepare for things like the Olympics and Paralympics. So to see Shelby break a world record in the morning session gets me really excited for Tokyo and World Championships this summer.
Absolutely, you got to be able to get through to that final spot. Also, we saw Joshua Liendo, the top seed into the 100 fly tonight. He broke a national age group record by 0.7 of a second to pick that top seed for lane 4 tonight.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the men's 100-meter butterfly. I think there's a lot of growth and there's a lot of youth, and I think it's going to be anyone's race. It's going to come down to the touch, and I think it's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, there's so many exciting races coming up tonight. I mean, we're going to have the 200 backstroke. You got Kylie Moss, Taylor Ruck, both in the water on that one. 4 swimmers this morning under that FINA A time in that women's 200 backstroke.
And yet again, we're showing the absolute depth in the backstroke, especially on the women's side for Canada. And I'm really looking forward, after seeing Kylie and Taylor post the #1 and #2 times in the world in the 100-meter event, really can't wait to watch and see what they're capable of in the 200-meter.
Yeah, and the 200 back for the men, you got Marcus Thormeyer going in first. He's already won the 100 back and the 100 free, looking for his 3rd event win here this week. You've got Cole Pratt, who might be going after a NAG record in that 15-17 boys. That's Tobias Orwalds from 2001, so lots of exciting racing in that men's 200 back as well.
For sure, and I think might is an understatement. That's definitely going to be on his mind tonight, but I hope he gets in the water and just races to his absolute best. The top 4 seeds, I believe, were within a couple tenths of a second this morning. So that's showing, the middle of the pool is going to be neck and neck, and Marcus is having an incredible meet. We could even maybe see a Canadian record threat in that one as well.
You never know. Marcus was under the 2-minute mark this morning. He was the only swimmer under that 2-minute mark in the morning heats. The 100 fly, you've got Penny Alexiak, you got Rebecca Smith, and someone who's having a fantastic season so far, Maggie McNeil of the London Aquatic Club.
Yeah, talk about another close race. I think that's going to be the theme of the evening, but that women's 100-meter butterfly could go to multiple people. We have in the middle of the pool Rebecca as well, and she hasn't quite punched her ticket yet to World, so we know she's going to be up here and ready to go tonight.
Yeah, another, as you say, it's all going to come down to the final touches. 400 free, a bit of a longer event, but again, that one might come down to final touches as well. Ali Ackman, the top seed going in, and this is an event you still hold the Canadian record in.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching that one, obviously for personal bias, but I think that the story of Ali Ackman was just so incredible to see her here healthy and swimming personal bests in a race that is absolutely physically grueling. I'm super happy for her, but I think names like Emily Overholt, who less than a month ago went a world very competitive time, a 4:06 at the University Championship, so she's definitely going to also be one to watch. That race could go to anyone.
Absolutely, and one other thing we'll point out, as we ask the athletes now to clear the competition pool, it's 5:45. But there's some fantastic swimming also happening in our B finals and with some of the foreign athletes competing here. Louise Hansson out of Sweden went the world-leading time this season in the 100 butterfly at 57.3, and she was ecstatic with her heat swim this morning. We'll see what she can do tonight.
And again, that's preparing her to get up in the morning at an international competition and swim some things at a competitive level. And what I think is so incredible, a facility like this that we're so lucky to have in our own backyard was built for the Pan Am Games, but it's so special to see people from all over the world that want to come here, want to compete, want to race our country because we're one of the best in this sport.
Absolutely, and 6 teams on the line being selected here this week. They'll all be named on Sunday night. We thank you again for being with us this evening and hope you enjoy the show coming up at 6 o'clock.
Good luck tonight, everybody.
And in other sports news, Canadian Olympic swimming sensation Hillary Caldwell is retiring from competition.
Hello?
Hi, Hillary, it's Derek.
Oh, hey, Derek.
I hear you're retiring. Well, listen, before you do, remember when you came out to the farm, I was coaching you for a while? Well, I'm coming out to the pool, and you're going to coach me.
Awesome. Come on over.
sait porter l'épée, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
And welcome back, everybody. My name is Jason Pratt. Joining me once again for tonight's finals, day 3 at the 2019 Canadian Swimming Trials, Brittany McLean.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to tonight. I think it's going to be a bunch of close racing. I think there's going to be a couple new people on our national team that we may or may not have ever seen before. So that gets me fired up and ready to watch some fast racing.
And so we had some very exciting swims last night. We saw 4 boys, 4 girls named to the team for the relay that will be heading off the 4x100 meter freestyle relay. We don't have any relay selection events tonight. Tonight we've got the 100 meter butterfly, the 200 meter backstroke, as well as the 400 meter freestyle. And our Paralympians will be swimming the 50 meter butterfly as well as the 400 meter freestyle event.
I just had the opportunity to chat with a few of our Paralympic swimmers, and they really reiterated the idea of how important this competition is for them to have an opportunity to race in this world, like they're out with Olympic trials, and also be included with the able-bodied athletes. We are one national team, we are one nation, and it's really special to see how much importance that carries.
And our Paralympic athletes has done a number of fantastic swims. We've had Canadian records, the Americas records, and including one world's record by Shelby Newkirk on the first day of the competition.
There's actually another world record by Shelby Newkirk this afternoon. She did a time trial, the 200 backstroke, and broke the world record in that event as well. So we still have lots more to see from Shelby Newkirk, but obviously she's an amazing form, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her race again.
And talk about the next gen swimmers trying to make a breakthrough. We saw a national age group mark, the youngest swimmer ever to go under 50 seconds in Canada for a male in the 100 meter freestyle, Josh Lendo. He was 49.71 last night, just missed out on making that relay, coming in 5th place.
Yeah, I think he'll be back tonight with that goal in mind. Obviously, he wants his world to be really bad. I think he's a great setting stone for his preparation for meets like next year, next summer. He needs to be in some Olympic swims to be very, very emotional. So I'm looking forward to seeing him step up. He did a huge personal best this morning, and that was his prelims.
Exactly right. It was an 0.8 of a second drop, a Canadian national age group mark by 0.7 of a second. He's going in the number 1 seed in the 100 meter butterfly. We'll see him later on in the program.
We're going to start off here with the women's para multi-class.
And our swimmers are off. The top swimmer in lane number 4, the top seed by time, Sabrina Duchesne from the University of Laval, 40.29 this morning, only 0.1 of a second ahead of Tess Routliff in lane number 5. Both these two swimmers swimming in the S7 category in the middle of the pool, lanes 4 and 5. And Duchesne this morning, 40.2, Routliff, 40.4. They're swimming very close together with a little bit less than 10 meters to go in the middle of the pool. And look at lane number 3, Camille Berube from Gatineau trying to close on the finish, but it looks like it is. Lane number 5, Routliff, a good drop, a 2-second drop down to 38.37. A nice drop in lane number 4 as well. Duchesne, 39.03 as well. Berube taking off more than a second to go 39.23 to be our 3rd place finisher in our first event tonight, that women's Paralympic 50 meter butterfly. Still have 2 competitors left in the water, lane number 2 and lane number 7. 108.71, a 2-second drop for Perret in lane 2. And in lane number 7, Corvo, 117.7, another 2-second drop for her.
All right, well, our first event of the night has now completed. We're getting set.
And we apologize. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there with Brittany's mic. We've managed to fix that up. Got some duct tape and loose
Good
wires
evening,
put
everyone.
together,
We are
and here
officially back. We are back, and we're ready
And
for
so
fast
if
swimming.
it sounded strange, me talking to myself like I was talking to someone else, that was me with Brittany McLean back here again for day 3 finals of the Canadian Swimming Championships. And maybe we should just rehash some of the insight that we had a little bit earlier, because we missed out on half the conversation.
We did. I think what the biggest theme of the evening is talking about the close races. We're going to be seeing a lot of neck-and-neck battles, hopefully a couple new members of our national team names tonight. Really looking forward to seeing what the next generation is going to be able to do. A couple youngsters in the field.
And you talked about Josh Lendo. Josh Lendo, the youngest swimmer to ever go under 50 seconds. And under freestyle, it was the Canadian national
50 butterfly Paris swimming winner Tess Rootliff.
We'll get back to that
was a
after
good
our
time,
interview with Tess Rootliff.
In 2016 of the Rio Olympics, you came 7th in this event, in 37.48. How does this swim compare to that swim?
I mean, we've been working on a lot more than we did in Rio, and I think we've prepped it a lot, and we've been focusing on it a lot because in Commonwealth, it was my only event, so we got to focus on it more, and I think it's come really a long way.
Great. And you swam Wednesday in the 100 backstroke. What other events are you in this weekend?
I have the 100 breast and the 200 IM left.
That's great. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you in those events. Tess Rootliff, ladies and gentlemen.
She said it's still not working. One sec. Just keep going. All we can do.
And so that was Tess Rootliff, the winner of the 50-meter butterfly. And that was a 2-second drop for her from the morning, 40.4 down to 38.3.
We are just getting set. All eyes now on lane 4, middle of the pool. Etienne Boutin-Cote from CNQ. He will be our sole member competing in the 50-meter butterfly para-multi class.
And for those of you just joining us, that was Brittany McLean. Just had a few difficulties getting her sound up and going, but it is now. Boutin-Cote in lane number 4 is our lone competitor, just 14 years old, from CNQ. He was 107.79 here in a 50-meter butterfly for our Paralympic athletes.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's looking to drop that time. What a great opportunity, although would be nice if we had a couple more competitors in here. But for him to come to a facility like this, race under the big lights, hear the roar of the crowd, you've got to think that would be a really great experience.
Well, if he can swim under this kind of pressure as the lone athlete in the pool, all eyes in the building on you, he can pretty much swim anywhere. So he's getting that experience now here at the great Pan Am pool here in Toronto. Looking to be better than the 107.79 that he put up this morning. And it's Boutin-Cote in lane number 4. He's got just over 5 meters left to go. He swims in the para S5 category. And Bhutan Kote coming to the wall. Give it right at that time he did this morning, 108.73. Another solid swim from our 14-year-old swimmer from CNQ, Etienne Bhutan Kote.
There you go. You see the smile at the end of the race, which means everything. And for him to do 2 big races in this experience is a huge stepping stone. And it's got to feel good to hear the roar of the crowd as you touch the wall.
As we were talking earlier about the youngsters coming up, we saw Josh Lendo, national age group mark last night. He broke that mark in the 100-meter butterfly, dropping 0.8 of a second off of his lifetime best, 0.7 under the mark. He went 53.11. The mark he broke was held by Josiah Binema, who is going to be racing him right beside him tonight in that final. Binema, the reigning national champion. That should be an exciting race.
Yeah, between names like Cole Pratt, Josh Liendo, I think is absolutely awesome to see, 16, 17-year-olds making new accomplishments, new strides towards our national team. Maybe potentially one of them as a relay swimmer, maybe on an individual race. But I think both the men's turn and backstroke and the men's 100-meter butterfly tonight shape up to be really neck-and-neck races.
And we're going to have some more great battles with Taylor Ruck in the pool. She's going in second in the 200-meter backstroke, right behind Canadian champion Kylie Moss. She's a Canadian record holder in that event. Ruck, she's been very close to that Canadian mark. Both of those two swimmers swam very relaxed this morning. That will also be a very exciting race.
Yeah, so we're getting set to watch our women's multi-class 100-meter para butterfly. And those of you who are wondering why we did the 50 and the 100 on the same day, depending on their classification, the lower classifications swim the 50 and anyone above swims the 100. So we're watching different people swim different events.
And that is exactly right. And that's why in our last race we only had one competitor. It all depends on the class that they are rated in the Paralympic events. But this is a multi-class event, the women's 100-meter butterfly. And we've got a variety of categories in here, ranging from S8 to S14. Top seed in this event by time after this morning, Neptune's Samantha Ryan in lane number 4, 111.27 this morning. We'll see how close she can get to that mark.
And just in case you weren't able to watch with us the last couple nights, we'll have to wait until the points are calculated to see who will be our podium finishers, who will be qualifying for our national teams. For now, we're just looking for improvements off of their morning swims, and then afterwards we'll be able to celebrate the medals.
And off they go. Ryan in lane number 4, top seed 111.27. Got a pair of 115s beside her, Justine Morier and Angela Marina in lanes number 3 and 5. And it's a strong first 25 meters for both Ryan and Morier. Right up there with them is Marina in lane number 5 as they come through to the first 50. It's going to be Samantha Ryan in lane number 4 from Neptune.
And I think one of the more incredible things about having a full heat here, everyone is representing teams from all over the country, and for them to be able to come in one location and race each other, it's pretty rare because a lot of the times they'll go to their local meets and only have 1 or 2 of them there to compete. So I think this is a great stepping stone as they prepare for future competitions.
And you are correct. There are not a lot of para swimmers across the country, so when they have this opportunity to come together and compete, it makes for some great competition. And we're seeing a great swim here in lane number 4 out of Samantha Ryan from Neptune. She got 5 meters left to go. She's looking to crack that 110 mark, 111.27 this morning. And Ryan, she does it, 109.96, a great 100 for Samantha Ryan in lane number 4. Second going to lane number 3, Justine Morier, dropping a little bit over her second from her prelims time, 113.89. And a good drop out of lane number 5 as well. Angela Marina getting down to 114.42. Those are your top 3 finishers by time. And as Brittany said, we'll wait for the scoring of this para multi-class event before we can determine these overall placings.
Yeah, Samantha Ryan, a good 2 seconds under the time that she posted this morning. You got to be pretty happy with that.
And a very good race for Ryan in lane number 4, and the rest of the field all dropping as well. Every single one of those swimmers better than they were this morning. As we get ready for our next event, it will also be a Paralympic event, a multi-class event for the men's 100-meter butterfly. And Brittany, you said you were talking to a few of the athletes on the deck. What's the mood on the deck with the women's team and the men's team as we're now on our third day, right in the middle of these Canadian swimming trials?
Absolutely. I think for some, it's definitely that sigh of relief knowing that you've got your spot on the team. You're feeling good about working on fine-tuning, working on getting some more work under your belts, and getting towards the World Championships this summer. I think there's also a little bit still, you get that nervous, anxious energy, but nerves are sometimes really good, and I think it's nice to see on the pool deck people still working themselves up to new goals, and you only really get nervous if you truly care about something, and that's what we're seeing here on the pool deck.
And you can use that nervous energy for just that, for energy and putting them into your swim. Some of these swimmers have missed out on what they thought was their very best opportunity. We saw that with Kiara Smith, unfortunately disqualified in the 200-meter breaststroke, but then bouncing back with a great performance the next day, 24 hours later, putting up a lifetime best time of 106.54, one of the top 3 times of the season in the world, and winning the 100-meter breaststroke.
Yeah, I talked a lot about how impressed I was with Kira's performance. I actually just bumped into her in the elevator, and she's just that sigh of relief, but also the excitement and moving forward and getting back to training. She already talked about how her meet's over now, and she's already back in the pool training. So our focus is on the summer. Our focus is on making Canada proud and making good strides as we improve off of the performances here.
And so here our finalists are now marching out for the Paralympic event on the men's side, the 100-meter butterfly. It's a multi-class event. And Alexander Elliott, he's our top seed in lane number 4 by time from Laval. Just missed cracking that minute mark. He was 1:00.00. He doesn't get much closer than that.
It stings just to look at. I'm really hoping he's able to break under that barrier tonight. We talk a lot about breaking barriers, but getting that .99 is so much more satisfying than that .00. So I really hope he cracks that tonight.
Everybody remembers where they were when they cracked the minute for the very first time, and I'm sure Elliott's no different tonight, looking to get under that mark in the butterfly. And we've got a range of swimmers from S9 through to S14 category in the multi-class event of our men's 100-meter butterfly as this one gets ready to go.
And we have a full 10 lanes in this event, so that's an awesome showing, and we'll have to wait and see who's able to drop time from their preliminary swim.
And there we go. Expect to see national team veteran Alexander Elliott representing University of Laval in lane number 4 out quick. He was 1:00.00 this morning. Going with him in lane number 5, Nicholas Guy Turbide from CNQ. He was back a little bit further at 1:03.28, but he's doing a good job right now, sticking right at the hip of Elliott as he come to the first wall. It is going to be Elliott in lane number 4 out very quickly. 27.80 is about 0.5 of a second better than he was this morning. Turbide turning right with him in lane 5.
For sure, and with only 1 year separating those two in age, you know they've raced neck and neck before, and it's great to see them in a stage like the Canadian Championships to get an opportunity to do it in front of a crowd.
And a good look at the butterfly, lane number 4 of Alexander Elliott coming right at you in the black cap in the middle of the pool. Nice shot here overhead. You can see the body length gap as Elliott comes into the wall and the finish under the minute mark, which is what he was looking to do, 59.50. A little bit over a second of a drop for Turbide in lane number 5. Bennett in lane number 3, getting himself down to 1:03.84.
Yeah, and that's a solid 0.5 faster than this morning, so we got to see a big smile on that.
And
we're just watching our final competitors come into the wall. exciting racing, lots of drops in time, and at the end of the day, that's truly what we're looking for. Improvements on what they were able to post this morning, getting them experience and having to swim a prelim and a final at a major competition.
And we'll be going to a commercial break shortly and coming back for awards presentations for our Paralympic 50-meter butterfly events. And make sure you tune back in. Plenty of excitement still to come. The 200-meter backstroke will be our next event up after our awards.
And the flags are just being put in. A lot of people always wonder, why are these flags coming in and out? So at a major meet, every time that there's a non-backstroke related event, the flags will be removed from the pool. And every time that there is a race that involves backstroke or the individual medley, as that includes some backstroke, then those flags are the basic reminder of 5 meters out from the wall. So the swimmers see that as they're getting ready to turn, they know exactly how many strokes, they know exactly how close or far that's going to be.
About raising quality chicken you can trust. From coast to coast, we follow a mandatory, independently audited animal care program. It was developed by Canadians, including animal welfare experts, veterinarians, researchers, and people just like you. It's uniquely Canadian. It's ours. This is my farm. This is my farm.
This is my farm.
This is my farm. This is my farm.
All right, we're getting set to welcome our podium finishers in the women's para multi-class 50-meter butterfly.
Well, it's quite a turnaround, Brittany. Before, no one could hear you. Now the entire building, as well as a webcast, got a chance to hear your voice.
It's not the first time where I've had to get a little bit more quiet, so I'm not at all surprised. But what I was finishing up talking about, before we cut to commercial, was the idea of the flags. Basically an indication that they're 5 meters up from the wall. That's where the swimmers know they're getting prepared for their turn. But here we are, no turns involved in this one. The 50-meter butterfly, gold medalist. It is finishing in the way that they touched the wall. So Camille Berube will take home the bronze medal there, and she gets that wrapped around her neck at the moment.
And you see she's also getting one of the little Chicken Farmers mascots. Chicken Farmers, a great supporter of Swimming Canada. Been a partner for a number of years.
Sabrina Duchamp will take the silver medal for University of Laval. Big smiles for all three ladies.
And there's Tess Routliff, your gold medalist. Had a good drop from the time she did this morning, getting down to 38.3 seconds tonight. That was a 2-second drop.
Yeah, great swim there for Tess. Tess is one of the veterans on the national Paralympic team. She has a medal from the Paralympics, and I'm looking forward to getting to watch her progression for the next year or two as we head into the next Paralympic cycle.
And our next event up is going to be the women's 200-meter backstroke. We'll start with the B final first, but as we were talking about, this is going to be a very exciting race. We've got some fantastic women. We've had 4 swimmers underneath that FINA A cut this morning. That FINA A cut is just the entry-level standard international swimming. It's not going to be the deciding factor in this race at all. It's going to be who can get down, and the closest swimmer probably to the Canadian record, if not beyond. Kylie Moss this morning, 209.3. Madison Broad, 209.8. Taylor Ruck sitting back in third, but she was so relaxed this morning. Cruised at 210.4. She's been 206.3. I'm expecting a very, very exciting race in this women's 200 backstroke.
Yeah, for us to have 2 Canadians that have been faster than 206 mid, that's a very, very world-class time. And both of those showed that they were in top form as they went either right on or at their personal best in the 100-meter event. So I think this 200 has a lot in store for us.
And Ruck, she doesn't always swim this event internationally at the highest level. It kind of depends on what that schedule of events is like at the event that she is going to. But she's in our final here tonight. She's going to be up against Kylie Moss. We'll get to see that race very shortly.
Canada's chicken farmers care about raising quality chicken you can trust. From coast to coast, we follow a mandatory, independently audited animal care program. It was developed by Canadians, including animal welfare experts, veterinarians, researchers, and people just like you. It's uniquely Canadian. It's ours. This is my farm. This is my farm.
This is my farm.
This is my farm. This is my farm.
And welcome back, everybody. We skipped over the medal presentation. Unfortunately, we had a disqualification in the
Paralympic 50-meter butterfly, which is why we had no medal presentation for that event. Here come our B finalists onto the pool deck for the women's 200-meter backstroke.
Yeah, and we've talked about it throughout the competition, but these B finals are serving a lot of importance as we have a lot of foreign swimmers here trying to vie for their spot on their own different nationalities, world championship team. So if you see a star beside their name, that's indication that they are representing a different country. But a lot of pride knowing that our facility is known to be world class and that they want to come here to race some of the best in the world.
And we've got one in lane number 4. Ekaterina Avramova. She's a top seed in B final. She swam 2:14.07. She'll be up against the rest of the field. And a solid start as our swimmers get to the underwater. They can go all the way out to the 15-meter mark. That's the blue rings on the lane rope for those of you watching on our webcast. Avramova in lane number 4 again, 2:14.07. Very strong on the underwater. She's out in front, leading the way through the first 50 meters.
Yeah, and she's got a very long, strong stroke. You can see her using her height and all of that length in each stroke. This is a tough race to be a swimmer in, and we talk about the 200 breaststroke being the distance of the breaststroke events. The 200 backstroke is what we call the distance of the backstroke, and it takes a lot of lower body strength. It's a lot about the legs and when you bring them in and at the right time, if you've left enough in the tank. Talk about a lot of different strategies involved in this race.
Absolutely. These top swimmers are rationing that output in their legs, from their legs throughout this entire race. And they're always right on that edge of collapse and maximizing that output. So here we go through the first 100 meters. Avramova out in 1:04.6. That's a solid 2 seconds better than she was this morning. Varga, the youngster, just turned 15 years old in lane number 7, sitting in second. As our swimmers turn on to the back half of the race, it's Avramova followed by Varga.
And this third 50 can really make or break your race. You're looking to either surge toward the place you want to be in, or you're holding on for your dear life. And it looks like our leader's she's about holding the position she was in, but people are catching her, and they're going to make a run for it on this final 50.
And here we go at 1:38.95, and that is the last place you want to be, holding on for dear life at the end of a 200-meter stroke event like this backstroke. Avramova doing a great job rationing her energy through the first 3 quarters of this race. She's looking very solid and should be underneath that 2:14.0 that she did this morning, and maybe pulling along some of these youngsters beside her. Varga still sitting up there in second in 7. Lane number 5 doing a good job. That's Alexa Gold from the Toronto Swim Club, also a foreign national swimmer. But they doing their part, bringing the Canadians along with them as they come to the finish. 2:12.55, a second and a half drop for Avramova. Gold down to 2:13.4, and a good drop for the youngster in lane number 7. That's Cascades Ella Varga dropping 2.5 seconds to 2:13.63.
Yeah, and Alexa Gold, one of the swimmers that saved her legs wisely, and she was about 4th or 5th at the first 100 and made a push on that final 50 to take second. Ella Varga, though, what a swim there for the youngster out Cascade. She was in lane 7, probably not really seen by the other swimmers.
Well, this youngster has come down from 2:18 before this meet, 2:17, 2:16 in the morning, and then down to 2:13 here. It's a great job for the youngster out of Calgary, Alberta, up and competing with some of the stronger senior swimmers here in the pool.
You can see her big smile walking back to her coach. They're proud of that accomplishment. They're going to go back, and she's going to know that she can race some of the best in the country and maybe next year shoot for that A final.
And well on her way to doing that. That 2:13.6 that she put up would have put her in the A final by a good margin. And she'll know that for next time when she comes back to the Canadian trials here in 2020. Only took a 2:15.1 to get in.
So our results there have just been announced official. And we're going to get set to watch more exciting races as our women's A final is getting ready to walk out.
And we were just taking a quick look at that national age group mark in the 13 to 14 category, 2:10.22, Taylor Ruck.
It's a pretty hard person to get to go up next.
It is a very hard standard to get to. But that's the measure these days in Canadian women's swimming. These age group marks, these age group swimmers on the women's side have made that jump to senior swimming.
And I'm really looking forward to watching this one. We had 4 women under the FINA A cut this morning. Now, our eyes are probably going to be on lanes 4 and lane 3. Kylie set a Canadian record at the 2017 World Championships. Taylor has been within 4/10 of that Canadian record time. And they've both shown that they're on top shape after they've become 1-2, very close to their best, and Taylor was a big best there. 2 world leading times. What are we going to see here in the 200?
I think that we are going to see one of the best head-to-head races that we've seen all weekend long. It was still a half-second gap, nearly a half-second gap in that 100-meter backstroke that we saw on the first night with Kylie Moss scratching against that world record time, Canadian record time. But a 4/10 of a second drop by Taylor Ruck tells me that she is ready to go in this one. So, Canadian record holder Kylie Moss, 2:05.97. Ruck, she's been 2:06.36. It's not much of a gap. We know that both of these young ladies are on and in top form. I don't want to predict anything on this one, but I know it's going to be a very exciting race.
For sure, and important to note, we saw big personal best times this morning from Madison Broad and Jade Hanna. They're going to be in lane 5 and lane 6 respectively. I know we're talking a lot about those 2 main girls, but you never know. We could see an absolutely amazing performance from one of them as well. And as mentioned before, we've got other teams here that are being qualified for. So we're looking at those 3rd and 4th, 5th place positions to maybe be representing Canada as well in events like the Pan Am Games, some of them Junior Worlds. Speaking of, in lane 8, Reagan Rathwell is the youngest in the field, born in 2004. What a great experience for her to race someone like a world champion at an event like this.
And we are off and watching the underwater in the middle of the pool. You can see Kylie Moss getting right out close to that 15 mark. A great out by Ruck in lane number 3. She's in the light green suit. And she is taking this one out. She is ahead of Kylie Moss, former world record holder in the 100. Right now it is the lead by Taylor Ruck, and it doesn't even look like she's using her legs at this point.
For sure, she looks very controlled, and Taylor uses her height to her advantage as she should. And you see that relaxed pace. Kylie and Taylor looking very relaxed this morning. That's what makes me so excited about the times they might be able to get to tonight.
And when Ruck went that 2:06, she was only out in 30.3. Now we're seeing her out in 28.9. So as relaxed as she looks, she's out a half second better than she was when she went her best time of 2:06.3.
For sure, and still pretty relaxed on the legs. You see Kylie, though, sticking right with her. They're going to flip within a couple tenths of each other.
Canadian record split 1:00.97. They're just a little bit over that, but Ruck at 1:01.87. Now she is 0.8 of a second better than she's ever been at the 100. And look at this off of the wall. Ruck now trying to get away and move on by Mass in lane number 4.
And you talk about strategy here, but you can tell Ruck is on the opposite side of the lane line that Kylie is, because she is in the lead and she does not want anyone to gain the draft of kind of the lead that she has created. Kylie doing
Here
the
comes
opposite.
Moss. Look
Yeah.
at, she's moving now. This is going to be the telltale sign here. Who comes off this wall with the most energy? Moss is really moving now, and she's carrying all sorts of momentum. She carried it into the wall and now out. Look at Kylie Moss start to move in lane number 4.
Now Kylie wants to hold that Canadian national title one more time. This is really good prep for those two ladies. We aren't surprised to see them leading the pack. They're going to be our Canadian members taking us to World Championships this summer.
And Ruck in lane number 3 not giving up as he come to the finish, but it's going to Kylie Moss. 2:05.97 is the record, and it is a new Canadian record. Kylie Moss, 2:05.94. Not only a Canadian record, that is the number 1 time in the world. Kylie Moss, 2:05.94. Taylor Ruck second, 2:06.70, the second fastest time in the world so far this year.
And talk about a final push. Kylie was out in a 1:02, and you talked about the Canadian record pace being a 1:00 at the 100. So a second and a half out slower, and she came back with a vengeance. And Taylor Ruck getting really close to that lane line on the final 25, so I really think she's got a little bit more improvement in her as we head towards Worlds this summer. But man, what a performance. A new Canadian record here in our first of the able-bodied events tonight. Really looking forward to what the races have in store.
And let's not forget best times out of 3rd and 4th place. Madison Broad from Chatham, 2:09.45, another half second drop for her. Jade Hanna, 2:10.70, 4th. Both of those girls under that FINA A standard, but they'll be competing either at the World Juniors, Pan American Games, or maybe the World Student Games. But great swims for them. All 4 of those girls, top 10 in the world in the 200-meter backstroke. And we said it was going to be a great race, and it did not disappoint.
For sure, and what an accomplishment. What a great sigh of relief for Kylie to know that she's on her track, and she didn't go personal best times last summer, so to see her scaring her own world record mark that she set 2 years ago and to make a new best time in the 200 really shows that she's in good
Ladies
form.
and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for the top 2 ranked 200 backstrokers in the world this year. Kylie, first with you. Canadian record here tonight, 2:05.94. Was that part of your plan coming in?
I mean, I always want to try and be the best that I can. So after having gone on the team in the 100, I think I really just came in the 200 trying to be relaxed and just put together a good race.
So it removes a little bit of pressure getting an earlier event in the week to be on the team, but you still want to add those extra events as we go through.
Of course, at World Championships, you have to qualify for the event. So I was looking to do that in the 100 and 200.
Well, congratulations, Canadian record, and the lady pushing you for the whole race, Taylor Ruck, standing next to you, second fastest time in the world this year. Got to be pretty happy at this point in the season.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy. I mean, that was a really good race, and Kai brought it home really fast, so I was really happy to be able to race her and everyone.
Do you try and go out fast and try and lead the race from the beginning?
No, not really. I think that's just like my natural speed, but I don't know. Yeah, I definitely don't plan on going out that fast.
Well, congratulations to Kylie Moss and Taylor Ruck, both under the FINA A and the top 2 times in the world this year.
And you know, Brittany, what I really liked about that is they both swam not an opposite strategy, but a different strategy from what they did when they did their last best times. That's not at all the way that Kylie Moss went the 2:05.9 Canadian record the last time she swam it. She swam a strategy closer to what Taylor Ruck was normally doing, and then Ruck took her own strategy, flipped it on its head, and went out super hard, more like Moss is known to do.
For sure, and I think this is one of the meets where they had a little bit more of a comfortable position when it came to their seeds 1 and 2. So they were able to play around with new race strategies, maybe something they haven't tried before, maybe something they're going to incorporate at Worlds. Great to see it paying off. New Canadian record there for Kylie Moss, and she yet again proves that she is the woman to beat when it comes to backstroke.
New Canadian record, new #1 time in the world in the women's 200-meter backstroke, 2:05.94. Kylie Moss. Second in the world goes to Taylor Ruck. Great swims out of our women in the 200-meter backstroke. This is now the men's 200-meter backstroke, and this will be heat number 1, our B final. And off we go in the B final. Loic Saint-Martin from Camo in lane number 4, the top seed of the B final, 2:03.45. He was a part of Canada's national development team, raced at the Junior Pan Pacific Championships last summer. Now a senior level swimmer making his mark here in the B final. Trying to move up from the 2:03.45 that he did this morning out in a 28.17 fast split. Noah Wazeliu in lane number 9, sitting in second in the outside. Matthew Mack in lane 5, sitting in third.
Sure, and out in 28.19 is a very comfortable 28.19. He looks very smooth and strong in the middle of the pool, our clear leader by about a body length.
And Saint-Martin known more as a sprinter, so he is out quick. We'll see how he holds on. We'll see if he's developed the back end of the race the same way that we saw Kylie Moss do in the previous final. He's out pretty quick at 58.6. Very nice underwater by Saint-Martin in the middle of the pool. Mack moving into second in lane number 5. Wazeliu in lane number 9, dropping to third. All of these swimmers looking to put up personal best times. The 2:03.45 was Saint-Martin. That was a very strong swim by him this morning.
And he's still looking very strong, pulling away from the rest of the group. Still a 50 to go. A lot can happen on this last 50.
And we'll see how much energy he's got off the wall on this underwater. Looking very solid, Saint-Martin in lane number 4. A little bit less than 50 meters to go. In second is Matthew Mack. Charles Millette now in lane number 3, moving up into third. And Saint-Martin just over 25 meters left to go in the B final. Looking to get under again, 2:03.45 this morning. You can see him coming in there in the middle. He's at the flags 5 meters to go. He's going to put up a solid swim. And it is Saint-Martin, 2:01.20. A great swim, a best time by Saint-Martin. A 2-second drop from this morning. Matthew Mack coming in second, and Hugh McNeil grabbing third out of lane number 2.
Yeah, we can happily say our top seed in the B final was a Canadian. What a great performance there, dropping 2.5 seconds from the time he went this morning. Got to be happy with that. Matthew Mack again is our second place finisher, 2:02.96, and in third, 2:03.67, Hugh McNeil.
Solid swims out of our swimmers in the B final of the men's 200-meter backstroke. We'll have some awards presentations very shortly.
And we are going to celebrate the awards for both our women and men's 100-meter butterfly of the multi-class para event.
And then after that, we'll be moving on to our A final, the 200-meter backstroke. And your medalists now in the women's 100-meter butterfly, Danielle Doris picking up the bronze, Justine Mourier taking silver, and as we saw, the fastest swimmer ended up with the gold this time, Samantha Ryan winning the event in a time of 1:09.96.
And they received their plush chicken farmers takeaways from the competition. What a great memory to go home with.
And it was good drops by all of these swimmers. All of the finalists in the women's Paralympic 100-meter butterfly went faster than they did in the preliminaries. A good sign. They're ready to go. Here's Samantha Ryan receiving her gold medal.
Sam Ryan there breaking that 110 barrier, 109.96. A great race for her. And now on to our men's event. We'll wait and see who our podium finishers are, as the times had to be calculated with their points based on their classification. And here they come.
And it looks like our top finisher took the gold in this one as well. The bronze going to Philippe Vachon from Mego, 107.64. Nick Bennett finished in the top three in that race, 103.84. And Alexander Elliott, who cracked the minute mark, dropped it by a half second from
this morning from Laval to win in a 59.50.
And we've usually had one para event per day, but today we're going to actually have two different para events, as we have the 400-meter event closing off our session here this evening.
And some of these swimmers are swimming the double, both the 100-meter butterfly and the 400-meter freestyle. So a hard double for a couple of these Paralympic swimmers who have not had to race more than one event at night during the finals.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great practice, though, when it comes to something like the Paralympics, like their Para-World Championships. They might have to be challenged with a similar feat, so it's good for them to get up here and have to race twice and gain that little extra layer of skin, add some toughness to it, and they can practice some of the strategies they want to use.
And you're exactly right. There's no relays being swum here, but all of those major championships that you just mentioned, they all have a relay component as well, and a lot of these athletes will have their individual event and then have to have a relay later on at night. Getting ready now for the final of the men's 200-meter backstroke. They're about to march on, and this will hopefully be as an exciting of a race that we saw in the women. We still have plenty of spots up for grabs. The standard that these boys are going to have to get under, it's a 1:58.34. Only one of them have been under that cut before, and that is Marcus Thormeyer, the top qualifier. He went 1:57.82 last year at the Commonwealth Games. Just very close to that Canadian record. It's a 1:57.34. 10 years old is that record by Matt Hawes.
Yeah, so your top seed here is no surprise whatsoever. Your 100-back Canadian record holder, setting that mark just 2 nights ago, already on the world's team for the 100-back and the 100-free. But as Kylie just mentioned in her interview, in order to swim each event, you've got to qualify individually. Cole Pratt right there, though, is the big storyline of this competition, having an amazing meet so far. And after he'll be in lane 2 tonight. I really do believe he's going to be after that NAG record, though, held by Tobias Orwell since 2001, one of the oldest in the books. He is just shy of that record mark, so I think that's going to be a big person to watch out for. Another one to watch out for there, Acevedo. Don't count him out. He'll be in lane 6. He's a Canadian Olympian and is yet to make the team, so he's going to be looking for a big performance here.
And Acevedo, you mentioned him, he was 1:58.3 last summer in this event, so he could be right down there as well. He swam a 2:00.74 relaxed swim this morning, so we'll see what happens here in the final of our men's 200-meter backstroke.
And also in the middle of the pool, William Marois and Rob Hill, they win best times this morning. They'll be swimming in lane 5 and 3 respectively, so this is still really anyone's race as they chase your leader in the middle, Marcus Thormeyer.
And here we go, now ready for a start. And they're off with a good start. And we'll see what kind of strategy these swimmers take to this 200-meter event. This morning, Thormeyer was very relaxed at 59.5 and then 100. And we had 4 swimmers right bunched together at 2 minutes. And at the wall, though, it looks like we've got a runner in lane number 2. That's Cole Pratt from the Cascade Swim Club. Appears to be taking the lead out. A very quick 27.6, 18/100ths of a second ahead of Thormeyer.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the top 5 men in this heat were within about a second of each other this morning. One of them being Cole Pratt, as he is out like a rocket there in lane 2. It'll be interesting to see if Thormeyer can see him out of the side of his screen.
Canadian record split at the 100 is 57.73, and is Thormeyer out in front? Pratt is sitting in second as they come to the wall. And Thormeyer under record pace. Pratt is right there as well. 57.3 for Thormeyer, 57.9 for Pratt. The standard they have to get under, it's very quick, 158.3. Thormeyer's been there. Pratt has never been under 2 minutes before, but he's going to try and get down there tonight. And Thormeyer coming now to the last wall. We're going to want to see a quick turn, a strong push-up for him and for Pratt in 2. If we're going to have any hope of getting 2 men underneath that standard. There goes Thormeyer, 127.0. Pratt, 128.2. Thormeyer under record pace.
And again, that Canadian record, 157.34. It was set in 2009, 10 years ago, by Matt Hawes. 2 of those men now taking off. Let's see how they finish.
We have not had an event with 2 swimmers underneath that standard. Thormeyer out in front. Pratt is trying to come back in lane number 2. It's going to be close. Thormeyer in 57.4, and Pratt underneath that standard as well, 158.07. That's the first event where we've seen 2 swimmers underneath the A cut. Marcus Thormeyer just over that Canadian record by 8/100ths of a second. A huge drop for the junior in lane number 2. Cole Pratt making his very first ever senior national team.
And that's our first event so far that we've had 2 men under that FINA A standard. And it is a very exciting one. Great to see the youngster, not even to mention the fact that Cole Pratt absolutely destroyed that Canadian age group record for the 15-17-year-olds.
My mistake on that, I'm getting too excited. Just off the Canadian record.
Get that record.
I need to learn how to read a scoreboard again.
Performance.
That was in a very exciting swim. As you said, a 2-second drop on the Canadian record for Pratt, national age group record. Thormeyer right there, right on the Canadian record mark. A best time for him within 8/100ths of a second. Very exciting swim for the boys here in the 200-meter backstroke.
And we talk about new swimmers making the most of new opportunities, but Cole Pratt is our newest member of the World Championship team. He'll have a taste of what it's like to race some of the best here as he hopes to potentially
Ladies and gentlemen,
set
my
new standards
apologies.
to make
Just
the
off
Olympic
the
team
Canadian
next year.
record. Marcus
Here
has
they are.
forgiven me. All is good. 157.42, 7th fastest time in the world this year, and another event for you at the Worlds this summer. It's going to be a busier summer of racing in Korea.
Yeah. It's, I don't really know.
What was the record a target for you tonight?
Kinda. I wasn't like set on like getting the record, but I just wanted to go really fast, and I guess I just didn't get the record then.
Just missed it, but I'm sure it's going to be a target this summer. It stood for 10 years, so it's time to get it off the books.
Yeah, definitely. After watching all these girls throw down some mad records, I think it's time for men's side to pick it up a bit. So, yeah.
Challenge thrown down by Marcus Thormeyer. Congratulations on the win. Cole Pratt, let me step over here. That time by Pratt, 158.07 on the World's team. And ladies and gentlemen, that is, I guarantee it is, a national age group record in the 15-17 boys, erasing the mark by Tobias Orawal from 2001. Cole, that NAG record, a target obviously coming in here tonight.
Well, I always thought going in I could break that record, but I wasn't really my focus. My focus was getting up and racing these guys, making the team.
Focus on that FINA A standard.
Yeah.
Anything you're looking forward to about racing this summer, or just representing the Maple Leaf in Korea?
Well, it's my first time representing Canada at the senior level, so I'll see what I could do.
Congratulations to Marcus Thormeyer and Cole Pratt in the men's 200 backstroke.
And it's interesting to note, but that FINA A standard is set based on world performances around all countries. So to have two men under that standard really signifies where we are internationally, and it's a great starting point as we head towards the summer and maybe some second swims for those guys.
And very exciting for Cole Pratt. As you mentioned earlier, he still has a year left in this boys age category, 15 to 17, and he put up a time. It is in the top 10 in the world right now. He just got underneath that with a 158.0. So as you said, the men's backstroke looking very strong. Pratt was second as well in the 100. He didn't go fast enough to make the cut, but here he did in the 200. He'll get the experience of his first senior international team 1 year out from the Tokyo Olympic Games.
And I think the coolest part about that age group record is actually older than Cole Pratt is. So it has stood for 18 years, Tobias Orwell being the last to hold it. And funny enough, Tobias Orwell, probably one of our last men's backstrokers to make a mark on the world stage in terms of second swims, making those finals. And we've seen the women be so successful in the events like 100 and 200 back. Even before Kylie, we had Hillary Caldwell getting that podium finish in the 2013 World Championships. We also used to have Sinead Russell, Julia Wilkinson. It's been an event that the women have dominated for quite some time, but it's really nice to see the men stepping up, putting up new performances, and hopefully we'll see them maybe on podiums in the future.
Well, as you said, we've been waiting all week to see one of these junior boys step up and make the senior team, and there's the first one, and I think that we'll probably see another coming, hopefully as early as tonight. And will probably happen maybe in this next event, which is the butterfly. First up is the women, and now this top swimmer in the B final, Louise Hansen, swimming unattached. She's from Southern California, a Swede. She put up the world's fastest time this morning, going 57.35. And we'll see where she's out here at the 50, 26.93, a smidgen better than she was this morning.
For sure, and her time short course yards is the fastest that anyone's ever done it. So she is the U.S. Open record holder. So that's the equivalent of a short course world record. And we know that she's successful in the yards, but it's really nice to see her performing on the long course stage.
And to be a butterflyer of this caliber in any other country would be a bonus. She's got to go up against her countryman Sarah Zostrom, the world record holder in this event. But Hansen putting down a great swim again, 57.36, just 1/100th of a second slower than she did this morning, but solidifying that performance. She dropped a half second to go 57.35 this morning, but it was no fluke. Here it is again tonight, 57.36 by Hansen in the middle of the pool.
Yeah, absolutely. And we talk over and over again, but it really is so important to be able to get up in the morning and perform, and then doing it again on the same night really shows that, you know what, not only is she capable of doing that in the morning, but she's able of repeating it and getting right down there yet again, as she is proving herself as now the top 2 times in the world so far this year.
Top 2 performances in the world in the women's butterfly. But when we get to our A final, I suspect and I hope that they're going to rattle that world's number 1, because we're going to have some great swims and some great contenders in there in our A final. We've got Rebecca Smith, Maggie McNeil, and Olympic silver medalist from Rio, Penny Alexiak.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm looking to call it an up-in-the-air race for the women's. I think it's going to be a race of probably 4 to 5 ladies. So we'll talk about that more later. Right now we're going to head over to the podium. Again, celebrating our victors in the 200 backstroke, starting with our women. Again, can't get much better than a Canadian record here. We got to see one tonight in our first event.
And a great swim by Broad. Let's not forget about her. She's gone from 2:10.8 to 2:09.8, now to 2:09.4. For sure we're going to see more of her later on this summer, either at the Pan Ams or World Student Games.
Yeah, a great performance to be able to get even faster after a big PB this morning and then drop down that even lower, get her on the podium, get her next to two of the best swimmers right now in the world is a pretty incredible accomplishment.
Canadian record, Kylie Moss, 2:05.94. A great swim by her, and I like the way that she swam this one. It wasn't a get out and hold on for dear life kind of a swim. She actually had some great pacing, and she came back on ruck on the last 75 meters of that race.
And after a performance like that, she's definitely going to sit down with her coaches, watch it on film, pick apart the things that they liked, the things that they didn't, and things that they can work on as they have a couple more months here before they prep for World Championships.
And here we go. This is going to be our next opportunity for some team selection. Women's 100-meter butterfly. And Rebecca Smith, top qualifier. She was 58.5 this morning. She's been 57.7. That was the time she did the Commonwealth Games last year. Maggie McNeil, we've talked about her earlier. She made the team already on the relay in the 100-meter freestyle. She was right there beside her. Where's your money on this one?
Yeah, Rebecca Smith will be in lane 4, and she did not make Worlds with her 5th place finish last night. Very, very close to making it there, but she'll be looking to touch in first or second to try to get that spot on the World Championship team. Now, my big dark horse here, Maggie McNeil, she'll be swimming out of lane 5. A couple weeks ago, the only woman to beat her at the NCAA Championships was Louise Hansen. She just raced. We know she's in top form. If she could post a time like Louise just did, she would be a very big threat on the world stage. Now, she qualified for Team Canada last summer in this event, but happened to decline her spot to get her set for this year. So I'm also excited to see, obviously, Penny, our silver medalist from Rio, one of the best we've ever seen in this country. She is our Canadian record holder. She wasn't looking her best this morning, but I think she had a nice, relaxed massage. She had a good warm down. I think she's ready to go. I'm going to be very interested to see who's able to take away this women's 100 butterfly.
We talked about Smith, we talked about McNeil, but you cannot forget Olympic silver medalist Alexiak in lane number 6. This one is up for grabs, and here we go now, the final of our women's 100-meter butterfly.
And Haley Black will be swimming out of lane 3. She went a big personal best time this morning. Sits in 3rd at the moment. So if she has a great swim, she could be under that FINA A cut as well. That cut 58.48. We're trying to get 2 ladies underneath it.
And Smith has got to be swimming this one hungry. Her teammates have all gone ahead and already been named to the team. She was just on the outside of that relay, finishing 5th. She is gunning for it in lane number 4. She was 27.0 this morning. And she's out in 27.0. Lexiak now 27.0 as well. That's almost a second better than she was this morning. And McNeil 7/10 faster than she was this morning.
Yeah, McNeil closing very strong right now, pushing away.
McNeil killed it on that underwater coming off of that turn. She has got the lead in lane number 5. Smith trying to answer back in lane number 4. She is sitting in second. Here comes Alexiak in lane number 6. It's going to be McNeil's 57.0. Rebecca Smith, though, not being shut out of the team. 58.30 underneath the standard, in for silver. Bronze going to Alexiak unofficially in lane number 6. The time of 58.61. That time by McNeil replaces the world number 1 that put up by Hansen. That is the world's number 1 at 57.04. 58.30, that is in for the top 10.
And what an amazing story that is. Maggie McNeil has never been on one of our senior national Canadian teams, and now she just posted the fastest time in the world right now. And we're in April. It's not like we've just started our season. We're middle of April now. We've got only about 2 or 3 months left in the season. This is a very, very exciting time for Maggie McNeil, and I'm really honored to be able to watch it. Also think I'm very happy for Rebecca Smith there. It would have been really tough, as you mentioned, a lot of her teammates just getting on the team last night. She was narrowly shut out of that. Unfortunately, Penny will not get to swim this event individually at an event like Worlds, but I'm sure very happy for her teammate. Rebecca's got herself on the team. We have 2 Canadians that are going to compete for our country this summer at Worlds.
A huge drop for McNeil. Almost a second and a half off her personal best to win and to put up the world's
Ladies and gentlemen,
57.04.
both under the FINA A standard and on to the World Championship team. Maggie McNeil, 57.04, fastest time in the world this year. An amazing turn. Field right together. You came off that wall way in front. That's got to be one of your strengths you've been working on over the last couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. I think training yards the last couple of months has definitely helped that.
And 57.04 at this point in the season, you got to be pretty excited about that time too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did it take some pressure off last night making the relay team and able to come back and just focus on this individual event?
Yeah, for sure. I think making the relay yesterday really boosted my confidence going into today.
Well, congratulations on the win here tonight and that world-leading #1 time in the world this year at 57.04. Rebecca Smith, 58.30, just missing the team last night in the relay, bouncing back here tonight to earn your spot in an individual event. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, I just came in today with a clear head and just did the best I could in my race this morning, and tonight was a great race. So not quite on my best time, but I'll put in some more work this summer and some fast.
Enough done to get under that standard. Great swim this morning, just off the standard. What did you do specifically in the break between some finals to really focus on coming back tonight?
Definitely had a good nap, but yeah, just came in tonight faster speed, so felt better.
Well, congratulations to both of you, and best of luck as you represent Team Canada this summer at the World Championships in Korea.
We truly have not been disappointed tonight. We've seen Canadian records. We've seen multiple top times in the world. I'm a very proud Canadian swimming alumni sitting here watching this because a couple years ago, in the 2012 Olympic Games, I was one of 3 Canadians that made a final, made a top 8 swim, and now we have multiple people on the podium, multiple people setting world best times. It's a special time to be a swimmer in Canada.
I think you're absolutely right. It is nothing worse than sitting there and see swimmer after swimmer
miss the qualifying cut, the minimum standard to get to international swimming. But here, especially on the women, we're seeing it left, right, and center. And now here tonight, we've had our first event where we've had 2 boys go underneath the cut. Hopefully a sign of great things to come.
And speaking of good things to come, we're going to get set with our men's B final in the 100-meter butterfly. We have a couple foreigners in the middle of the pool. They'll be in lane 4 and 5. But our top Canadian this morning in the B, Stephen Calkins, he represents the University of Calgary. He'll be swimming out of lane 3.
And Calkins this morning, 55.42. We saw Luis Martinez from Guatemala put down a 51.87. That's one of the top 10 times in the world so far this year by Martinez. A very solid swim by him. So this is a great opportunity for the Canadians around him to get some experience up against a swimmer who's putting down a time at top 10 in the world. They're getting that opportunity here in the B final of the boys 100-meter butterfly.
For sure, and all of our top 3 in this heat set personal best times this morning with big smiles on their faces. So if they can notch a bit off those times, that'll be a PB.
And Zhengwen Kwa in lane number 5 out in front, 24.37. He's got a 18/100th of a second lead on Martinez. Martinez in lane number 4 now trying to get back on Kwa, and Martinez really starting to move. He was 51.87, just outside the top 5 in the world. We'll see what he can do here at the finish. Martinez, 2 strokes left to go, and it's Martinez in for the win at a 52.08. Kwa putting down a good drop in time, a couple of tenths of a second to go, 52.42. Top Canadian was Kier Ogilvie, Milan Swimming going 54.68.
And Ogilvie taking almost a full second off the time he went this morning. And in a race that's only 2 laps, that's quite the feat to do. So great swim there out of lane 6. Kier Ogilvie, 54.68. 7 also improving, second Canadian, also improving off his time from this morning. That is Stephen Calkins, 55 flat. He will be our representative from University of Calgary Swim Club.
And so coming up next, I believe we have some medal presentations. This will be for the men's 200-meter backstroke. Nice showing by our Canadian men. Some very solid swimming there tonight in this 200-meter backstroke event. We saw Marcus Sormeyer just missed the senior Canadian record by 8/100ths of a second. Young Cole Pratt, just 16 years old, took down the Canadian national age group mark by 2 seconds. Both those top 2 boys. making the standard to get to the World Championships.
Yeah, it's been quite an exciting night. I'm already feeling like we've had 8 races just with how exciting it's been, but we've had 2 events finished, and we're almost done with the fly. We've still got the 8 final to go, and then we're going to head into some 400-meter freestyles.
And there we go, Rob Hill tying with Javier Acevedo, 2 minutes, .20. Cole Pratt all smiles. He'll be picking up the silver medal. He will be a very young rookie at just 16 years old, off to the senior team for the World Championships this summer in Korea.
And what's so awesome to see is we frequently see females going at 14, 15, 16, hitting some very competitive times in a senior level, but it's odd that we see the men producing times this early in their career. So a great starting point for Cole Pratt. This isn't the last we're going to be hearing that name. I really look forward to the future he has ahead of him.
Well, I think it's a testament to the great coaching that this youngster has had. A lot of experienced coaches with his club program, the Cascade Swim Club, led by Dave and Wendy Johnson, also coached by Ildi Delu for a number of years. And there's our winner, Marcus Thormeyer. Personal best time just over that Canadian record mark. It stood for 10 years. I'm sure we'll see that one go down later this year.
And speaking of great coaching, those 2 men in the 1 and 2 position are actually coached by brothers at the moment. So we see Tom Johnson, the coach of Marcus Thormeyer, brothers with Dave Johnson, who's coaching Cole Pratt. Interesting to see them both taking 2 different swimmers to similar events and similar speeds, new feats, different levels of expertise, but amazing coaching we have here in Canada, that's for sure.
And that was some great swimming in our men's 200-meter backstroke, and now we are hoping for some great swimming here in our men's 100-meter butterfly. They have their work cut out ahead of them. Brittany, the standard 51.96. That's only 1/10 of a second over the Canadian record. Only one Canadian has ever been under 52 seconds. That's Santo Condorelli back in 2016.
Yeah, so it would take almost the Canadian record to get under that FINA A. The focus here would be to get that top spot, hopefully get on the medley relay at World Championships. If someone's going to do it, I say our guy to chase, Josh Liendo. He'll be in lane 4. He watched a friend of his, Cole Pratt, just get his spot on the senior team after never making it before. Again, Josh, only 17 years old, went a best time this morning, aiming to get that first spot on the senior team. He'll have to challenge Josiah. He'll be in lane 5. He's been the butterflyer on our Canadian relay for the last couple of years, but having the meet of his life right now, Will Pisani, what a performance. We've seen him get on the relay in the 100 free. We also saw him win that 50. I think he's also going to be a threat here in the 100.
And these butterflyers in the middle of the pool have already put up some great swims. They've all gone personal best in the 50, which happened a couple days ago, and they were very solid. Best times by Liendo, best time by Pisani this morning. Binema, he's been 52.5. He was only 53.3 this morning. We'll have to keep our eye on lane number 5, Binema. He was our senior national team representative in this event the last couple years. But all eyes will be on the youngster in the middle of the pool, Josh Liendo from North York Aquatics.
And out of this heat, the only one on our current world's roster will be Will Pisani. He's in lane 3. So it potentially is going to be another new member, but like you said, that standard is pretty hard to get to.
And we're going to want to see them out 24 mid or better. Liendo this morning, he was 24.9. Pisani was out quick, 24.5. He's taking it out quick again in lane number 3. Will Pisani, plenty of speed, 24.2. Binema, 24.5. Liendo, 24.5 as well. 0.4 of a second better than this morning. Liendo had the best finish of any of these swimmers in the heats this morning.
And here he comes, chasing down Will Pisani and Josiah Binema. All 3, it's going to come to the touch.
Liendo has gone by Pisani. He's trying to get up to Binema. Binema still with the lead in lane number 5. At the wall, it's Binema, 52.62. Look at this swim out of Liendo, though, 52.83. Third going to Pisani. That's another 0.3 of a second drop in the Canadian National age group mark for Liendo. That's a full second on the day. for the boys 15 to 17-year-old national age group mark.
And a huge accomplishment there for Josh Liendo. A little unfortunate now, just missing that national team in 2 different events, but he'll have other opportunities to represent the Maple Leaf, potentially at something like Junior Worlds or the Pan Am Games. Very happy to see someone so young improving so quickly at, on a day like that. He's already taken almost a second off his lifetime best time, a new national age group record, which means that he's the fastest 17-year-old we've ever seen in Canada. But Josiah Benema will be taking home the gold, and we'll hear from him shortly about what he feels like with that time this time of year, and basically whether or not that potentially will put him in terms of conversation to get on that World Championships team to swim on a medley relay.
Liendo obviously disappointed that he didn't get his hand on the wall first, but he can't be too disappointed with that time, 52.83. An incredible performance for a 16-year-old swimmer, just outside the top 15 in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Great
your national
swim by
champion tonight in the
Josh
100
Liendo.
butterflies,
Here's your
Josiah
national
Benema.
champion,
Time
Josiah
of
Benema.
52.62. Are you happy with that time here tonight?
I would have liked to have been a bit faster, but I mean, it's all part of the journey towards getting there, so I did what I needed to do today.
And your national age group record that you held until this morning was broken by the swimmer in the race. Great to have so much competition in this men's 100 fly here tonight.
Yeah, for sure, the field has gotten way better. It's great to see the young guys stepping up, and it's scary too.
It's going to be a great year leading into the Olympic trials, which will be right here at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Centre next year. What are you looking most forward to about continuing this season and into this summer?
Yeah, I mean, I've done a lot in my training that's pushed me forward, and I feel like there's more for me there, so I'm looking forward to executing on that this summer.
Congratulations, Josiah Benema, winner here tonight in the men's 100 butterfly in 52.62.
And Benema, he was less than a tenth of a second off of his best time, so a very solid swim from Benema. I can't get over that swim by Josh Liendo. Great swim at 52.83. A bright future ahead for that swimmer. We'll see what team he gets himself onto later this summer.
And we're continuing to see the growth of our youngsters, and it couldn't be a better time to be an up-and-coming male on the Canadian swim team, puts them in great form as we're getting set for the Olympic cycle. Just 1 year away from where we'll be this exact location for Olympic trials for the Tokyo 2020 team.
And so our next event up will be the women's 400-meter freestyle. Once again, we're going to have 2 heats. We'll have a B final and an A final. First up will be our B final. Women's 400-meter freestyle. Our top seed in the B final, Kyla Ross. In lane number 4, Island Swimming, she was 4:21.86. It's only a few seconds separating our swimmers here in the B final of this event. The top 5 of them separated by only a second.
Yeah, we're changing gears here as this race is 8 long laps long. So we just came from the 100-meter butterfly, which is a fast dash, power, speed. Now we're seeing a little bit more on the endurance and smart swimming, holding their stroke, holding a good tempo. A lot of people swim this a little bit differently, but basically they want to be out in that first 100 strong, but reserved. They want to be smart about it. And similar on that 200 backstroke when we talked about that final 50, that's how we want to start that 400 freestyle, knowing that you still have a good 300 to go and you don't want to give all your legs on that start.
And Brittany, I know you know this one. You have done this race a million times. You're still the Canadian record holder. A great swim back in Rio, a time of 4:03.43. And we've got Emily Overhaul. We're going to see her later on. She's been 4:06. She sort of cruised it this morning, recovered a little bit from a very hard day and night. 400 IM in the morning, 400 IM at night, which we saw her battle against Sydney Pickram. So we'll see her coming up. She's been 4:06. Canadian record is 4:03. The standard, the FINA A standard, it's a 4:10.57.
Absolutely, and both Overholt on the women's side and Cote on the men's side, two of our new World Championship team members came back after two busy 400 IMs last night to race the 400 free this morning, and both of them looking a little bit fatigued. It'll be interesting to see whether they were, fatigued or if it was just a bit of a relaxed swim. Looking for some big time drops from both of them tonight. But they are two of our new Worlds team members. They'll be out later on in the program. Right now, though, our B finals are reaching the halfway part. Merritt Anderson in lane 5, your current leader, 2:06.07, followed by Kyla Ross in 4, 2:07.24.
And talk about a killer double. 400 IM, followed by 400-meter freestyle. But Overholt's not any stranger to that. We saw her do that at the 2015 Pan American Games. An event where she actually won the 400 IM, was disqualified, came back the next day, and won the 400-meter freestyle.
Yeah, she has definitely dealt with adversity. She has definitely bounced back before, so it would not at all surprise me if she pulled off something incredible here tonight.
Well, let's turn our attention back now to the B final. Merritt Anderson, she was in the medals in the 1,500-meter freestyle on the first day. She is leading the way here for the University of Calgary Swim Club. She was 4:22.0 this morning. Got a 2 body length on the field as she comes to the 300-meter mark. Anderson in lane number 5.
She looks very relaxed still, holding her stroke very long there. Nice technique coming into this wall. Looking to drop a lot of time off of her time this morning. 3:10.86.
Solid on the legs, too, and here they go. She's got more legs going. She got a great little rhythm. Nice white water coming off those feet for Anderson in lane number 5. She's almost 4 seconds up on Ross, swimming in lane number 4 from Island Swimming. And Merritt Anderson in lane number 5 with a sizable lead as they come to the very last wall. Anderson out ahead of Ross. We'll see where she is at this turn. She was only 4:22.0 this morning. Going to be well underneath that time as she turns at 3:43. Looks like she's going to crack the 4:20, might even get down to the 4:16 range. Ross sitting second in lane number 4, followed by Small Gange in lane number 1.
Yeah, and this is a very smart swim put together by your current heat leader. She has not backed down. She's keeping a strong tempo throughout. Look at her legs go. The final 10 meters there.
And here we go at the finish, only 5 meters out, and she looks very strong at the finish. This is a great race for Anderson in the B final. And that is a lifetime best time for Merritt Anderson, 4:14.66. A great swim out of the B final. She's just a little bit more than 3 seconds over that FINA A cut. So good in terms of development for Merritt Anderson as she edges towards the FINA A cut, the standard, getting ready for the run into Tokyo 2020, and also here potentially putting herself in the running for one of the senior teams.
Yeah, and a great performance there, dropping 7 seconds off of the time she had this morning. Potentially one of our swimmers that was a little bit fatigued here in the preliminary session, posting a lifetime best here tonight with pretty much open water throughout. A great swim there for Merritt Anderson.
Well, we will have some medal presentations now. Before we get on to our A final, coming up will be medal presentations. After we have a commercial intermission, we'll have medal presentations in the women's 100-meter butterfly.
And we're back here ready for more medals to go around. Some new World's team members, one of them being Rebecca Smith. We saw Meg McNeil qualify her spot in the relay last night, but this will be her first individual event that she gets to swim at a World Championships. What an exciting time for her.
And great swim by Smith after obviously disappointing 100-meter freestyle, not necessarily in the time, but in the fact that she ended up 5th on the outside of getting on the relay. Alexiak, your Olympic silver medalist, picking up the bronze here in the 100-meter butterfly. And we keep talking about it, the depth of the swimming here in the country on the women's side. And this is it right here. This is a picture of depth. Your Olympic silver medalist picking up a bronze behind Rebecca Smith and Maggie McNeil.
Absolutely. We're talking our top talent here, ready to perform. And if it's not your day, then it's going to be someone else's day. So interesting to see new names taking over, but a new national champion there, Maggie McNeil. Great to see her successes, 57.04, the fastest time in the world this year. Well-deserved that medal right now.
Yeah, absolutely. 0.3 of a second better than Louise Hansen, who is now relegated to the second fastest time in the world. We've seen the top 2 times in the women's butterfly in the world here at the 2019 Canadian Swimming Trials. Maggie McNeil from Canada, followed by Louise Hansen from Sweden. Great performances in the pool.
And only 0.3 separating those two ladies. It would have been fun to watch them go neck and neck tonight, but I'm sure at World Championships we'll get to watch it.
And next up, we're getting ready for our A final in the 400-meter freestyle last night. The 400-meter individual medley events
proved to be some of our most exciting races. Let's see if we can get that same amount of excitement here in the women's 400-meter freestyle event.
Yeah, we talked a lot about Orville Holt. She is the fastest, best time in this heat, but she's all the way out on an outside lane. She'll be out in lane 7. Her 4:06.27 at U Sport Championships just a month ago is an absolutely world-class time. And to give you some perspective, that's 2 full seconds faster than what she won the 2015 Pan Am Games at. She did look a little bit tired this AM. Looking forward to seeing whether or not she's able to drop some time. Now, Mackenzie Paddington, 4:09.03 is her personal best time. That's another person that's been under that FINA A cut. She's already made the world's team in the 1,500-meter event. She's in lane 3 now. Lane 4, what an absolutely amazing story. Allison Ackman was lights out this morning. I chatted with her earlier. She's just so happy to be back swimming well, in good form, not injured right now. She's been on our national team, but 4 years ago, so it's been a while since she's seen success on the international level.
And Ackman this morning at 4:11.08 was just a half second over that FINA A standard, but once again, as we've seen in most of our women's events, the standard is not going to be the issue, I think, in this 400-meter freestyle. It's going to be getting your hand on the wall in one of those top 2 positions. The race is actually going to be all over. Overholt down in lane number 7, Ackman in lane 4, Paddington in lane number 3. We're going to have to keep our eyes on the entire pool and the entire field here in the women's 400-meter freestyle.
So Ackman this morning posting that lifetime personal best. It'll be interesting to see whether she left a little in the tank to race herself home tonight. Just getting that swim out of the way, a great best time for her. I also think important to note, Emma, she's our youngster. She was our runner-up in the 1,500-meter event. She'll have lane 2 tonight. Beside her, Bellio, the other youngster, she'll be in lane 1. Watch for them to also have strong finishes, potentially threatening those national age group records. We've talked a lot about setting barriers. Those are some that we keep an eye on. Only 13, 14, 15-year-olds making our A finals here at Nationals.
And Belial, she'll be chasing a 4:13.57. Big shoes to fill in the 13, 14-year-old category. That is a time put up by Taylor Ruck. So a very high standard in the girls 13 to 14. Belial, we'll see if she's up to the job. She was 4:19.71 this morning. Out quickly in lane number 3. That's Mackenzie Paddington. Taking it out very hard. She was only 59.8 this morning and out 59.3, a half second better. Emma O'Cronin in lane number 2, sitting in second. Very nice on the underwater by O'Cronin to get up and to be racing right there with Paddington in lane number 3. Ackman sitting back in third in lane 4.
And O'Cronin being very smart right now, staying right on the lane line of the leader, trying to get as much drag and draft as she can, staying with that tempo that Paddington has created, but about a body length lead right now for Taylor Paddington.
Cronin probably not happy with the result of the 1500 because she's been underneath the FINA A cut before. She did it last summer. Didn't have the best swim she's ever had in the 1500. Looking for a little bit of a payback here in the 400 meter freestyle. She's sitting back behind Paddington, padding at 130.6. That's a second better than she was this morning. As they come to the halfway point, the 200 meter wall, it is going to be Paddington out in front at the bottom of your screen in lane number 3, followed by O'Cronin beside her to your right in lane number 2. And Paddington turning in 2:02.1. A second back is O'Cronin in lane number 2, sitting in third. Lane number 6, that's Danica Ludlow.
Yeah, and if O'Cronin can keep this up, she can maybe potentially get herself on this Canadian Worlds team. She's got to have a great back half, though. Right now, Taylor Paddington, very low on her legs. You see how high her tempo is. She uses a lot of upper body strength to propel herself through the water.
Right now, it's a two-woman race, and we've seen the absolutely amazing finish that Paddington can throw down. She's been under a minute at the tail end of a 1,500-meter freestyle before. And she flips at that wall at 250-meter mark, just over a second up on O'Cronin. They've got a second and a half on Ludlow, swimming in lane number 6. Overholt, a bit of a surprise right now. She's sitting fourth back in lane number 7.
And that last 100 is going to be really crucial here as we see, a difference of 0.6 of a second within our 3rd through 7th. Danica Ludlow looking very strong right now for the University of Calgary. She's been a university national champion before, but it is great to see her up here challenging for a medal.
They're going to be very close to that crut. I think that turn 3:06.1, Paddington is going to be there. Now it's going to be up to O'Cronin, the young 15-year-old in lane number 2 from the Edmonton Keano Swim Club, trying her heart out here to get up to Paddington, and underneath that cut of 4:10.5. O'Cronin is actually catching up to Paddington as they come together into this last wall. It's going to be Mackenzie Paddington, and right there with her, look at this move by O'Cronin in lane 2.
Ludlow also having a great race there out in lane 6. They all flip in very close time. This is going to be very close to get on to this World Championship team.
She's got to get back in 31.8 or better. O'Cronin in lane number 2. Paddington is going to be underneath that standard, but O'Cronin is going to be very close. Look at the effort on this finish by the youngster from Edmonton, lane number 2. She's moving on Paddington in lane number 3. 5 meters left to go. It's Paddington and O'Cronin. 4:10.57 is the standard. And there we go. Paddington under. O'Cronin, the young 15-year-old, under the cut as well in 4:09.11. Third going to Danica Ludlow in lane number 6. Paddington was on the team. And now we have Emma O'Cronin making her first senior international team for Canada off to the World Championships.
I have chills. I'm sitting here. I'm so happy for her. A young 15-year-old. I'm in awe. We have 2 new girls, and I've been waiting for that next young distance stud to come out of nowhere, and that she just did. Emma O'Cronin. If you were looking at psych sheets before this competition, you were not putting her name on that World Championship team, and yet she just proved that there's a reason for racing, and that she just did from start to finish, staying so smart, keeping great pacing, is going to be our next representative on the World's team. Mackenzie Paddington, you see, giving a true level of sportsmanship there, hugging her, telling her how proud she is. She's now got a teammate going to Worlds with her, and is going to get the chance to race with that maple leaf on her cap.
A great testament to the mental fortitude of O'Cronin. A bounce back from disappointment in the 1500. Here we are in the 400. A huge drop in best time by 7 seconds for O'Cronin to get down to 4:09.11.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mackenzie Paddington and Emma O'Cronin, the newest members of Team Canada for the World Championships this summer in Korea. Mackenzie, 4:08.82 national championship title, taking it out fast under a minute on the first 100 and holding on as you were being challenged right down to the final stroke.
Yeah, I just want to get out there and get my hand on the wall to get on that time. It's been a rough 24 hours, but I'm so happy I did it. I'm so happy we have a young one right next to me. Like, she's the future, and she killed it.
An amazing time there for 4:09.11. Emma O'Cronin, a great swim here tonight, chasing Mackenzie the whole way. And on to your first senior national team this summer.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say right now, but I'm super happy with that, and I was just going out there seeing what gives you, and I'm really happy to be on it, and yeah.
Throughout the race, you were right next to Mackenzie. Do you think that helped you keep up to the leaders throughout the entire race?
Oh yeah, for sure. I was trying to just stick with her as much as I could and then see what could happen.
What are you most looking forward to about this summer and going on to the senior national team, racing again in the 400 free with Mackenzie in Korea?
I'm just excited. It'll be a really good experience, and it'll definitely be a lot of fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mackenzie Paddington and Emma O'Cronin on to Team Canada this summer.
And what a performance. Also, didn't even really get a chance to talk about it, but
all of our teams being selected this week will be named on Sunday evening at the conclusion of our finals.
Speed, great legs. I'm really excited to see where this girl can take her career. Personally, a little bit extra because this is an event that I used to swim, and it's so nice to seeing, as Mackenzie said, exactly right, the future of distance swimming in Canada. You know, she had to swim at 1500 just 2 nights ago, and for her to come back and drop, 6 or 7 seconds in a race that's only 8 laps long, very, very impressed with the youngster.
A very nice technical swim by O'Cronin. As you mentioned, she has a very long classic freestyle stroke. She kept up a very nice tempo. And talk about those legs. She went almost the entire 400 meters with that 6-speed kick. A very solid performance by O'Cronin. She's really our second true junior now to make the jump from that development team program run by Ken McKinnon into the senior international squad now at senior world championships. Very exciting to see.
Yeah, and I've got the adrenaline pumping now, but we're gonna get set for our B final here in the men's 400 meter freestyle.
And we're going to get to see Victor Johansson in lane number 4. He was 350.63 this morning. Johansson, one of those 4 national swimmers that we've talked about swimming here in Canada at the Canadian Swimming Trials in our B final. Not eligible to swim up into the A final, as this is a trial selection event. But an opportunity for these other swimmers to swim against some very world-class performers. Johansson this morning, 350.63. Our top Canadian, Raven Doman, in lane number 6. He was a 4:01.13. And David Curie, actually from Nepean in lane number 3, my apologies, was faster at 4:00.78.
Yeah, so we're looking here again in the middle of the pool. We see 2 different foreigners. They were the fastest, 2 of the fastest this morning, but have to race in the B final because we have a qualification meet, so it's only Canadians in our A final, as it should be. Here we see, though, a couple people in the middle of the pool taking it out pretty fast there. Your leader at the moment, Victor Johansson, should flip first at the 100.
And it's though Andrea Dorigo from the Gator Swim Club in Florida actually flipped first there at 55.7, just 6/100ths of a second ahead of lane number 6, Raven Doman. Johansson sitting back in 3rd. And the Canadian Doman going with our foreign swimmers in the middle of the pool for the first 100 meters of this 400-meter freestyle B final.
Yeah, really well right now. Etienne Paquin-Poissy from Elite Swimming. He is in lane 1 at the bottom of your screen there, putting himself in contention with the leaders.
And Dorigo out in front. Johansson moving into 2nd. Doman right there, only 0.5 of a second back in lane number 6. This is a great swim so far for Raven Doman. He was only 4:01.13 this morning, but he is on pace to be down here with these faster swimmers. Johansson again 350.8 this morning. Now Johansson in 4, taking over the lead as they come to the halfway point. The 200-meter turn, 154.5, 0.2 of a second up on Dorigo in 5. Doman sitting back in 155.4, still doing a very good swim. The swimmer from China.
Yeah, and you see the rhythm. We've talked a lot about it, but a consistent kick and keeping that tempo up in your arms is pretty crucial here as they're heading toward the 250-meter mark of this men's 400-meter freestyle.
And Johansson starting to pick it up in lane number 4, separating himself from Dorigo in 5. He's got nearly 0.6 of a second. Doman dropping back just slightly in lane 6. Still up in the top 3 as our swimmers make their way down to the 300-meter mark. And talk about rhythm. Johansson picking it up again as he comes to the 300 wall. Look at this kick at lane number 4. Victor Johansson now a body length up on Dorigo. Turning at 2:52.5. He wants to be better than 3:50.6. The FINA A standard in this event, a 3:48.15. He's going to get close to that. We'll see if he can crack that 3:50 mark. Dorigo sitting in second and 5. Doman back in third in lane 6. Coming to the last wall now for Johansson in lane number 4. He's swimming for the University of Southern California. At the wall, Johansson at 3:21.4. He's going to have to go a 26.7 to get underneath that cut. I don't think that's going to happen here, 3:48, but he should put up a sub 3:50 swim.
We're always looking for improvement from their morning swim, so it would be nice to see him under that 3:50 barrier.
And just 15 meters left to go for Johansson in lane number 4. Going to be very tight on 3:50 as he comes in to win the B final. 3:50.11. Still an improvement from this morning by a half second. Dorigo coming in second, 3:54.0. And then Doman in lane 6. Top Canadian in the B final at 3:57.65.
And this is a pretty physically demanding race, so you see them breathing pretty heavily as they touch that wall. Great effort there by all 10 men. That was the B final, just wrapping up. We're going to get set for another awards. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to head.
I believe that we are. I think we've got the 100-meter butterfly medal presentations coming up.
The men's podium finishers for the 100-meter butterfly are going to be on your screen shortly. What a great race that was. That really came down to the touch until we knew who the winner was.
A very exciting race. And I tell you, my heart was thumping in my chest for young Josh Lendo, just 16 years old. After the excitement of seeing Cole Pratt get on the team as a young junior. Both Lendo and Pratt have been competing against each other since they've been 13 years old. And I know that Lendo is looking to see himself get on that team. And he potentially still could. He's got the 200-meter butterfly coming up later in the program. Not an event that he's specialized in, but with the way he is swimming, I wouldn't hold anything against him in that race. And our medalist, Will Pisani, best time for him after making the team on the relay last night in the 4x100 meter freestyle. Picks up the bronze in 53.21. And Josiah Binema, winner 52.6. But Josh Lendo, a name I am sure we will be hearing for years to come. Takes a full second on the day off the Canadian national mark. 52.83.
And I think the coolest part is, an event like the 100-meter butterfly requires so much power, so much strength, and as he continues to grow, he's going to continue to build that strength. And I just can't imagine that name going anywhere far, anywhere soon. I think a great benchmark for him, the fastest we've ever seen in his age group, and a lot of growth there coming.
Yeah, Binema, our top swimmer here tonight, 52.62, just a few 100ths over his lifetime best time. With a solid swim for the swimmer from the UBC Swim Club to win 100-meter butterfly, national champion.
And we're getting set for our last able-bodied A final of the night, our men's 400-meter freestyle.
And this one will also be a tale of contrast between youngsters and experience. Top qualifier Colin Gilbert from Kamloops Classic, 3:52.9. Right beside him, though, 16-year-old Michael McGilvery from the Regina Dolphins. Put up a best time this morning at 3:55.0. He was the bronze medalist in the 800-meter freestyle, representing Canada last summer at the Junior Pan Pacific Championships, as well as the Open Water Junior World Championships.
Yeah, so out of this heat, our big senior name will be Jeremy Bagshaw. He's swimming in lane 5. Now, he's a big veteran for Canada in this event. He swam at World Championships before. He used to train every day with the Ryan Cochran, the distance legend in Canada. Now, it's going to take a best time for him, though, to get under that FINA A cut. in this race. 3:48.15 is that time we're looking for in order to get one of our men on this Canadian national team. In lane 4, though, Colin Gilbert cut off 5 seconds this morning to get him into lane 4 tonight. I'm going to look forward to see if, he's got a little left in the tank in order to make a move tonight. We also have Brothers, the 800-meter champ. He's going to be swimming out of lane 6 tonight. And I spoke about it earlier, but Cote, he got himself a spot on the World Championship team last night. He's going to be swimming out of lane 7. There you see him right now. Expect him to be a little bit faster tonight. You could tell he was a little fatigued.
And that was, again, another swimmer doing that incredibly tough double, the 400-meter individual medley, one of the most challenging events in the sport, followed by the 400-meter freestyle the next day. I'm sure he's feeling much better about this race, coming into the final, having a little bit of a break in between the two sessions.
Absolutely. We also see McGivory. He's going to be in lane 3. He's the youngest in the field. He dropped 2.5 seconds this morning.
And Gilbert looked very good right off the get-go this morning. He was out 27.0 on the first 50 meters, out ahead of the field. But Bagshaw, as you said, he is the swimmer with the experience. He's been under 350 a few times. Expect to see him get out and go for it. And it looks like he is in lane number 5, Jeremy Bagshaw from Island Swimming, taking it out quick. He was 3:53.85 this morning. He knows he's going to have to be a lot better than that tonight. And look at this, 26.27 on his first 50.
Yeah, and Bagshaw, other than the 400, the other event he tends to swim is the 200, so not too surprised to see him out like a rocket. He likes to get out fast.
A nice strong rhythm
by Bagshaw, trying to get himself onto that world pace. The pace that will need to get down to 3:48 right away here off the get-go. Look at this, a body length on the field as he comes to the first 100 in 54.6 seconds. That's a full second better than anybody we saw in the B final.
And they were down at 3:50.
Yeah, for sure. And the important thing about Jeremy Bagshaw, he has the experience. He swam this race so many times before. He knows how he wants to swim it. He's focusing on his own lane, less about the competition. He wants to be that representative at World Championships. And he's training now with that sole goal in mind. The time won't be too surprising. He knows the standard he has to get to, so that's what he's chasing right now. 1:23.50 there at the 150.
He's out quick as a 29.050 there. Let's see what he can do as he comes to the 200-meter mark. He's got more than a second on Brothers, the winner of the 800-meter freestyle, right beside him in lane number 6. This is going to be the halfway point for Bagshaw. He swims this race, goes heavy on the legs very early on, but he must be used to it. And Jeremy Bagshaw coming at the 200. Here we go at 1:52.81. That's a 58.2 second 100. He's going to have to turn it on here on the back end to get down to that 3:48.
Yeah, swimming very strong there. Peter Brothers being smart, staying on that lane rope. He could tell Jeremy's going out for it. He's keeping as much in his draft as he can.
And it is Bagshaw followed by Brothers, and then next in lane number 4, Colin Gilbert. He was the top seed in the A final. He's going to be playing catch-up now over the next 150 meters as he tries to work his way back up to Brothers and Bagshaw. McGilvery sitting back in 4th, a few tenths of a second behind Gilbert. And we're going to see if Bagshaw flew a little bit too close to the sun on the front end, but he is still holding on, a body length on Brothers. Brothers is trying to move on him in lane number 6. This is going to be the wall, will be the 300-meter mark for Jeremy Bagshaw, your race leader in lane number 4. 2:51.7. A great turn and a great underwater for Bagshaw to turn onto the back 100 of the race.
He looked very strong up that turn. Took the glide and momentum off the wall, and then great underwater kicks to propel him to his opening stroke. But it's going to take a really strong finish for him to get under the standard. He looks to have a safe national championship under the belts, but probably not going to get there.
He looks very strong, but he's going to have to go 56 on this 100. He's got 50 meters left to go. He needs a 26.6 out of himself to get down to that cut. It's going to be very tough. I think we're going to see a great swim for Bagshaw. He may just miss that standard. Brothers doing well in lane number 6. Gilbert currently sitting in 3rd. And here comes McGilvery again, just like we saw in the 800. Bagshaw is going to win this one. Brothers is going to be 2nd. Anyone's medal in the bronze. 350.96 Bagshaw Brothers in for second. And the bronze goes to lane number 2. What a finish. That's Nathan Bedouin Bolduc taking the bronze medal by 0.2 of a second. 350.96. A solid swim for Bagshaw. Not quite fast enough to get underneath that FINA A standard, though.
Yeah, not a personal best for Bagshaw, but he is your national champion. He'll go into selection for one of the potential teams coming up this summer to represent Canada. Again, start to finish, he swims with such, it looks like ease, but he's got this consistent kick throughout that is very difficult to keep up, breathing every 2 with a high tempo. Great race there for Bagshaw, our leader from the beginning all the way through the end. Medalist rounding out the podium, Peter Brothers will be taking second place, and then a great finish there from Nathan Bedouin Bolduc from UL, 354.07, a big drop from his time this morning. He's going to be your bronze medalist.
And a nice swim by the junior age eligible swimmer Michael McGilvery from Regina, putting himself into contention for the World Junior Championships later this summer. That event will happen in Budapest at the end of August. Likely to see a swimmer like Michael McGilvery there after the swims we've seen so far this week.
Definitely a great night of swimming here so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, your national champion tonight in the 400 freestyle, Jeremy Bagshaw, winning here tonight in 350.96, out from the start in the lead and really pulling away from the field for most of the race. 350.96, probably not the time you're looking for here tonight, but a national championship title in the 400 free.
Obviously, it's happy to get the win, but yeah, I'm not happy with the time. But I just got to get ready for tomorrow now.
So we've had a few people asking about your name that pops up on the scoreboard. Just wondering if you have an endorsement deal with your PSO at Swim BC.
I wish there was, but they don't actually give me any money for that. It'd be nice if they did, though.
Well, Jeremy Bagshaw, congratulations on your win here tonight in the 400 freestyle, and best of luck for the rest of the season as we continue here on day number 3 of the Canadian Swimming Trials.
Well, a great effort for Bagshaw, but he's got more swims still to come. And as you mentioned, Brittany, he still has that very important 200-meter freestyle, which is tomorrow, an opportunity for not only an individual spot on the World Championships, but if not the individual time, then maybe the relay.
For sure, and tomorrow's his big day, as he mentioned there, the 200 free, one of his signature events. He swam it at a World Championships before, but also focused a lot on being one of our crucial members of that 4x200 freestyle relay, so we're going to have to keep that in mind when we watch tomorrow. It's going to be an exciting one. I'm looking forward to it.
The interesting thing that we'll see about the 200-meter freestyle tomorrow is that barring a disaster, the top 4 swimmers will get onto the team automatically as a part of the relay. The standard is only 151, maybe 150 point to get onto the relay if you're into the top 4. So just like the freestyle, if you can get your hand onto the wall in one of those top 4 positions, if you're not under that FINA A cut, you'll get an opportunity to represent Canada as a part of the 4x200 meter freestyle relay.
Absolutely, and that's a relay that has shown a lot of youth, a lot of experience, a lot of all over the place for Canada in the last couple of years. So it'll be nice to see some new names, hopefully, to our 4x200 freestyle team, and potentially work that into a top 12 position to try to get them into the contention for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
And here we go now for the 400 meter freestyle, our Paralympic event, a multi-class event. We've got our different categories all the way from S7 to S10 competing.
Yeah, and just introduced there, Aurélie Rivard. We saw her win the 100-meter freestyle yesterday. She's also the Paralympic champion in this exact event. So keep an eye out on lane 4, one of the highest world-class swimmers we have representing Canada, especially on the para stage. And she was our flag bearer at the Rio Paralympic Games. So awesome to see her here competing and on top form yet again. And they're off. Similar to the race that we just witnessed on the men's side, there's going to be 8 laps of swimming for all of these ladies here. The women's multi-class 400-meter freestyle. The leader at the moment, as I just mentioned, Aurélie Rivard. She will be in lane 4. A lot of experience in this field, starting with the white cap in the middle of your screen. Her time this morning, 4:54.84. So let's look to try to cheer her on to a little bit faster. Great tempo here. You see the length in her stroke, being smart about how much legs she's starting out with. Again, it's all about strategy, tempo, pacing it well, and she appears to be doing so right now. So 106.94 in that first 100. This morning she was out in a 109.70, so a full 3 seconds faster there. Following that right now, Ariana Hunsaker will be your second place. And rounding out the field, it's a pretty close battle right now for third. Similar to our other events, though, we have to keep in mind we're going to have to wait to see who made our podium after the competition. There will be some calculations done based on their pair of points and their classification. Right now, your leader still remains Aurélie Rivard in the middle, 142.57 at the 150. Again, still 5 seconds ahead of the time she was keeping this morning. She looks very relaxed, still in the middle of the pool, swimming a smart race. It's the halfway mark. She's coming into the wall. 2:18.13 at the 200. This morning she was a 2:26.0. So again, a full 8 seconds faster. Her best time, though, quite contention, 4:29.27. So not quite on pace for that best time, but she's looking very strong there in the middle of the pool. And Aurélie competing in the S10 category. The lane beside her, Ariana Hunsaker, is also an S10 category, so those two will race each other multiple times. Aurélie training out of University of Laval, Hunsaker, Surrey Night Swim Club.
And it is Rivard with the lead as she's coming to the 300-meter mark out in front. She swam this event this morning in her training suit. Not holding anything back here tonight, though, as she comes around at the 300 and 3:29.4. She was 4:54 this morning. It looks like we're going to see a big drop out of the race leader, Rivard, in lane number 5.
She's going to be a little bit off that personal best, but still a great swim out of Rivard, and she has clear water right now. White cap, middle of the screen.
And Hunsaker in lane number 5, turning in second behind Rivard. And Hunsaker this morning a 5:14.00. As we've said all along with our Paralympic events, so we will have to wait until they do a point score on the IPC charts to determine our overall placings. It's a multi-class event. We've mentioned we've got S7 all the way to S10 categories competing in the 400-meter freestyle. But it's only 25 meters left to go, though, for Aurélie Rivard from the University of Laval in lane number 4. She's finishing strong, and again, she was 4:54 this morning. She's going to be much better than that tonight. And Rivard in lane number 4 coming into the finish of the women's Paralympic 400-meter freestyle, 4:39.56.
.4:39.56, our leader. Just about 10 seconds off her personal best, but I'd assume a pretty good time for beginning of April. a good benchmark for her, knowing what she wants to work on throughout the summer.
And there are two Paralympic teams that are being chosen. One is the Para World Championships and the Para Pan American Games. We do know that the Para Pan American Games will be in Lima, Peru. Still waiting on a final date and location for the Para World Championships. It's coming into the wall second, lane number 5, Ariana Hunsaker, and into the wall third in lane number 3, Morgan Bird from the Cascade Swim Club. Both these swimmers on the same times, are a little bit better than they did this morning.
And here they go. This is a tough 8-lap race, so it's a grind, but they're doing such a great job, giving it their all in there. You see the swimmer coming in with 25 to go.
And some of these swimmers in these S categories, their race takes them up to and over 7 minutes. So this one, as you just said, it is an absolute grind, the 400-meter freestyle. Fishing in the wall now in lane number 7. Gets Crystal Shaw from Flatland Swimming out of Regina. An aptly named team from Regina, Flatland Swimming.
And there you go, and they're continuing to pile in there.
And 4 swimmers left in the pool as they're all finishing up now. This is the end of our women's Paralympic 400-meter freestyle. Lane number 8, Michelle Tovizzi, dropping 10 seconds, almost 10 seconds from the time she put up this morning. So a great swim by her.
Absolutely.
And a final swimmer in, Ava Searle from the Winskill Dolphins. And there we go. One more race to go, and that's going to be in the men's 400-meter freestyle, our final event, final Paralympic event of the night.
All right, as mentioned, we're getting set for the final race of the evening. We're going to have all 10 lanes filled here for the men's multi-class 400-meter para freestyle.
And we saw Alexander Elliott. He's going to be in the middle of the pool again, lane number 4. He cracked the minute mark going 59.5 for the 100-meter butterfly. And now he's going to be up in this event, the 400-meter freestyle this morning. He was just over his lifetime best. He went 4:15.8, chasing down a 4:13.35 standard that is his lifetime best time. So we'll see where he can get himself tonight. He's going to be swimming this one largely on his own. He's about 30 seconds ahead of the field. So you have to be pacing himself here in this one.
There you go, and Zach Zona, another one of those veterans on the Paralympic team. Alex Elliott, there he is, big smiles, big waves, having a great meet so far. I'm very interested to see if he's able to drop down time from that 4:15 mark. Great morning swim, but I think he's got a little bit more in him.
And Matthew Cabrasia, Cobra Swimming, rounding out our field here now in the men's 400-meter freestyle. And here we go, our last race of the night, day 3 finals of the 2019 Canadian Swimming Trials. And we're off, and we'll look to see Alexander Elliott in lane number 4. Great underwater out of Elliott. He's already got himself up a couple body lengths on the field. We'll look to see him spread that distance as we go through the 400 meters. 4:15.8 was the time he did this morning. 4:13.25 is his entry time.
For sure, and he's easily given himself a couple body lengths here at the start. Great first 50 there. 29.37 is what he flipped at this morning. 28.54, so about 0.8 of a second faster than he was out this morning.
He is on a scorching pace, considering he was only 2 seconds over his best time, and here he is 0.8 of a second better on that first 50 alone. We'll hope he can hold on to this pace over the next 300 meters. A great start by Elliott from Laval in lane number 4. Beside him is lane number 3, Zach Zona sitting in second. In lane number 5, currently third, Philippe Vachon. As Elliott turns in a 59.8, 2 seconds ahead of where he was this morning. All he's got to do is hold that same pace that he did this morning, and he'll go at best time. A great outing on the first 100 meters.
Yeah, and he looks very strong there. Nice tempo, consistency with his legs.
And Elliott, look at this 6-beat kick very early on here in this race. As he comes to the 150-meter mark, way out in front of the field. Alexander Elliott turning in 1:31.35. Keeps gaining ground on those split times from this morning. He is 3 seconds up now. He's basically going a full second faster per 50 on each of these first 3 50s.
Yeah, I know he came to fight here tonight, and I love to watch this. He's got about a 25 on the rest of the competition, which is why you're only seeing one body in your screen, but what a great performance he's shaping up to be. Let's see what he flips at this halfway mark.
It is a gutsy swim, and we've seen a lot of swimmers tonight in our Paralympic events and our other events getting up and going at the beginning and making the most of it, as is Elliott in lane number 4, 2:02.76. 5 seconds ahead of where he was at the 200 this morning.
This is turning out to be a great swim for Elliott, turning in second and very close to each other, only 6/100ths of a second. It is lane number 3 and lane number 5. That is Zona and Vachon
turning in 2:17.6.
And here he comes. Just over 100 to go, and we're looking at a huge drop from his personal best time. What a performance here Alex Elliott is putting up to finish off the night.
And we just had a guest intervention there. Jennifer Bunton, Olympic team member, back a butterflyer in her own right, stepped by the booth as we turn at the 300 at 3:05 for Alexander Elliott. A great swim happening here in the middle of the pool. I'm not sure exactly what time he is going for, but he as sure as heck is going to be underneath that best time of 4:13.35. Lane number 3 now starting to separate. That is Zach Zona moving ahead of Philippe Vachon in lane number 5 as he turns now at the 300. Nearly 2 full seconds ahead of lane number 5, Philippe Vachon.
And again, that 350 mark, 3:36.57. He's looking to break that 4:10 barrier with ease.
And he is looking very strong. There's only 25 meters left to go now for your race leader, Alexander Elliott from the University of Laval. He looked as strong as he did at the start of this race. A great start, a great finish for Elliott in lane number 4. Swimmer from the University of Laval touching the wall first in our pair 400-meter freestyle. Look at this, 4:07.69. That's a best time by 6 seconds.
And a big smile and a fist pump. That's exactly why we love sports. What a great thing to watch. What an amazing performance there to finish our night off so strong. Alex Elliott, 4:07.69. And here you see the next of our competitors coming into the wall, the final surge.
And there it is, lane number 3, 4:42.05 for Zach Zona. That's a good drop for Zona, 3 seconds from this morning. Vachon in lane number 5 hitting the wall third in 4:44, just off of where he was this morning, but a solid swim. Solid swims by all of our swimmers here in the middle of the pool. As we still have a few competitors coming into the wall. finishing off our men's pair 400-meter freestyle event.
And you can see it on your screen. There's two just finishing up. On the right side, Hitcham, Bufakni just touched, 5:17:39. And right now we're watching lane 9, Matt Miller from the St. James Seals Swim Club.
And there it is, Miller into the wall, 5:30.93. Great swims ahead of our men in the pair 400-meter freestyle event. Well, Brittany, we had an exciting night last night, a great night of swimming here on day number 3.
I think this is, it's going to be hard to beat one. I think we've seen some records, some new growth, some added members. We saw 2 youngsters making our national team, another one narrowly missing out on that spot, but with more opportunities, still 2 nights of swimming left to go. I think this is just a true testament of where Canadian swimming is at right now, and the growth that we have coming toward the future.
I feel like we've come a long way in the last couple years, and like you just said, 2 more days to go. Another women's, another men's relay to be selected.
Ladies and gentlemen, standing
we'll
down here with Alexander
later.
Elliott posting the fastest time here at 4:07:69. 8 seconds off your time from this morning. You got to be pretty happy with that performance tonight.
Yeah, I'm crazy happy. It's an all-time best time. I've been training really hard for that event, and it was a great swim.
Change in programs this year, going to swim with University of Laval, and your coach Nick Perron was pretty excited at the end of that race.
Yeah, I think he's pretty happy with it. I mean, it's always great when you go best time.
And you've been down in Florida doing a staging camp before this. What else do you have coming up between now and the World Championships, which we're not sure where they're going to be hosted this summer?
I'm actually super excited. I'm going to a World Cup circuit meet in Singapore, so I'm looking forward to racing there and going fast.
Well, congratulations on your fastest time here tonight. We'll wait on the official results with the point scores, but Alexander Elliott, 4:07:69 in the 400 free.
And there you have it, the final results for our top 10. Again, those will have to go towards point scores, and we'll see who our final podium finishers were.
And we should get those results very shortly. Coming up next, we're going to have medal presentations for both our women and our men's 400-meter freestyle, followed by presentations for the women's and the men's Paralympic 400-meter freestyle event. And this, Brittany, in the women's race was one of those ones where we saw, just as you said earlier, one of those junior age swimmers step up, make their first ever senior team. Young Emma O'Cronin, just 15 years old, out of the Edmonton Canada Swim Club.
And it's been a bit of time since their race, so hopefully they've gotten a bit of a warm down in, flushed out the lactate, and they're ready to go here. Really happy for the name, for the young swimmer, Emma O'Cronin. What a performance. I'm just sitting here still in awe. 4:09 for her age. To hit a time like that, 4:09 low even, I think that's just the beginning of that name we're going to hear for many years to come.
Yeah, great to see a youngster like that make her way onto the podium, make her way onto the senior team, and with a very solid time as well. 4:09, that's an excellent time for anybody, let alone a young 15-year-old making her very first senior international team. 4:09 puts her right at the top 10 mark in the world so far this year.
For sure, and I think one of the cooler statistics, you know, she's only 15 years old. That record mark for the 15 to 17-year-old girls has held by Brittany Reimer, 4:07:32. She's less than 2 seconds away from that, and she just dropped about 7 or 8 today. So I think that mark is pretty reasonable for her to go towards for the next couple of years. And that record by Reimer has stood since 2005, so it's almost about the same age as Emma.
And she's still got 2 years. Don't forget, she's 15 years old. She's going to have next year as a 16-year-old, and then the 2021 trials as a 17-year-old, and all the international meets that she is sure to attend in between to get underneath that standard by Reimer.
Absolutely. I think that's one of our last of the really old school records, and it's a very impressive one. So I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing another mark go down. And I think a lot of our swimmers can agree with the fact that it is a little bit difficult to, you know, lose a record on a world stage. But I think it's very apparent when you can have that excitement knowing that the future is bright and that the next person is coming. I always say records are meant to be broken. but it is so true that pride you have in feeling like the next person is up and coming and is ready to take on that ownership of representing Canada.
I like the fact that these youngsters are nipping at the heels of those veterans. Cole Pratt only a half second back from Thormeyer tonight. Josh Lendo 2 seconds back of Josiah Binema. Right here in the 400-meter freestyle, we saw Emma Cronin within 2 seconds of Paddington. And these swimmers have got years ahead of them, and it's going to keep, it's great motivation for these youngsters chasing those seniors in front of them, and motivation for those seniors to see those young kids nipping at their heels.
For sure, and here we have our podium. Great finish there for Nathan Boudin-Boltuk from UL. Last 50 was awesome, 3:54.07. He'll be taking home a bronze medal tonight.
Got that one at the touch. Brothers adding to his gold medal that he picked up the other night in the 800-meter freestyle. He gets silver here.
Yeah, great performance by Brothers tonight. He stayed nice and close with Bagshaw, swam a smart race on the right lane line. Well deserved there. Silver medal for Peter Brothers.
Swim BC Bagshaw. I'm not sure if that is a legal change or just a nickname for Jeremy, but nonetheless, 350.96 in for the win for Bagshaw in the 400-meter freestyle.
Yeah, Chris was asking if he was getting any money out of that one. It's definitely a no. Jeremy's wishing he was, but I guess a mistyped ad in the program, but it is Swim BC Bagshaw taking the gold home, back to island swimming. A good swim. He knows it's not exactly where he wants to be, but he's got a big race coming up tomorrow.
And now we will see the result of the point scores in the women's and the Paralympic 400-meter freestyle. Saw our top three finishers by time. They will not necessarily be our top three swimmers by points.
Morgan Bird taking home a bronze medal here, representing Cascade. 5:26.12 will be her time.
This is interesting for Bird. She swam this event internationally at the London 2012 Paralympics, but has not been on the podium recently in this event. So if she gets to swim later on this summer in either the Para Pan Ams or the Para Worlds, it'll be a bit of a comeback in events for her. The 400-meter freestyle. Silver going to Duchesne from Laval.
Yeah, and all three of these ladies have had Paralympic experience, and they are some of the veterans on the team. So it'll be great to see them leading one of our international squads here this summer. Again, your reigning Paralympic champion there, Aurélie Rivard. She's standing atop the podium with a gold around her neck tonight as we wrap up the last of our female podium presentations.
And one more medal presentation to go. That will be in our men's 400-meter freestyle in the Paralympic category. And then Brittany and I will wrap up the night at the conclusion here of day 3 of our Canadian swimming trials. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern, for preliminaries of day number 4 of the Canadian swimming trials, and then back again here for finals, 6 p.m. Eastern. Bronze medal going to Philippe Vachon from Mego. Time of 4:41.31. Silver going to Zach Zona, put down a 4:42.05. And then it was a great 6-second drop down to 4:07.69 for the University of Laval's Alexander Elliott to pick up the gold medal. And here we go, Brittany. This is the conclusion of our Day 3 finals. It was another exciting night. Yesterday was incredibly exciting. For me, anyways, I think this had to have been the most exciting night of any of the finals that we've had here at the Canadian Swimming Trials.
He's been humble all night, but his son was one of our amazing standout performances. Cole Pratt has my swim of the night. Close up there with Emma Croynan, though. What a performance from two very young, up-and-coming Canadian, I think, legends at this moment.
Well, me personally, I will have to say that was the swim of the night for me. I was also very encouraged by the swim by young Josh Lendo in that 100-meter butterfly, just narrowly missing that opportunity to get on in a relay position, but he still has the 200-meter butterfly, maybe even the 4x200-meter freestyle relay tomorrow. But an amazing swim out of Kylie Moss in that 200-meter backstroke, Canadian record, world #1 time.
Yeah, in the women's 200 backstroke, we can't forget, we set 2 of the top times in the world right now, leading Kylie Moss, the fastest Canadian has ever been. What a performance started by her, and then to have Taylor Ruck as the second fastest right now in the world. We're in good terms for coming this summer.
Absolutely, we are. The men were 7th and 8th in the world right now in the 200-meter backstroke, and then you turn to the 100-meter butterfly. How about that? Another world #1, Maggie McNeil, 57.04. It's almost a second-and-a-half drop from her personal best to be the world's #1 swimmer in 2019.
Yeah, I think we're gearing ourselves up well for Worlds this summer, but also as we get ready for Tokyo next summer. Some youngsters putting themselves on the map and showing us what the future has in store.
Keeping everybody on their toes, and we want to see you back here again for what Day 4 has in store for us at the 2019 Canadian Swimming Trials. Join us tomorrow morning at 9:30, and then Brittany and I will be back tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Eastern, for Day #4 of the Canadian Swimming Trials.
Have a good night.